Hello guys. Now, normally like I wait like a couple minutes for people to like get in here, but like I'm on Twitter. What the fuck is this? Sony has published a patent for dynamically adjusting (parentheses nerfing or buffing) players in multiplayer sessions to balance cross-platform like console, PC, and mobile. The technology would monitor hardware, input methods, and skill levels in real time. Then nerf or buff players, such as by reducing speed or reaction times for console and PC users to balance disadvantages faced by mobile players using touch controls. What the fuck is this? Why would they patent this? Sony, I don't think anybody in their right mind would want to do this. There is an implication with this, is that Sony wants to design competitive multiplayer in a way where if you play cross-platform, they will deliberately fuck over your ability to actually play the game from a technical standpoint if you just so happen to have a better peripheral than the other guy. How about this? How about this? If you're making PvP where one peripheral is better than the other, don't let them play with each other. What the fuck? Hello, guys. See y'all coming in. It's just like, what am I looking at? I just don't know what to say. Like, I was gonna pop on Twitter for just a second, just to like see stuff while waiting for people to get in, and this is literally on the front of my page. I just don't know what to say. Rossi pulling? I only have a headhunter dossier. That was my only plan for like Rossi, is just to use the headhunter dossier. So I probably just wasn't gonna stream it at all. But I want to play with my friends. Oh, you can. You can. It's just if you have better hardware, I hope you're ready to literally get like your ping fucked with, or your like. This is just a massive rabbit hole. Like, what is stopping Sony from, like, a few years from now, where if you want to play with like console players and you're a PC user, they hard lock your frame rate from like 120 or higher down to like, let's be honest, 30. Because consoles be consoles. They'll lock your frame rate to 30 because frame rate's an advantage. Frame rate is a massive advantage for PC users, especially in first-person shooter games. This is insanely dumb and would be abused immediately upon implementation. People would find ways of tricking the system. I completely did not think about that for a second, is that people would literally just force exploit this. Like, you would just have an all-PC lobby and somehow somebody would find some way to, like, trick the system into forcing their teammates into a disadvantage. Spoofing your own shit hardware, playing on controller, or give oneself temp high latency and then get the maximum buff. Hello Sheena Shuri. Imagine getting nerfed on PC and consoles because a guy from India feels like he's on a disadvantage while playing PUBG on Samsung S7. Good thing they patented it because no sane person would unironically implement this into their game. Holy shit, imagine being crippled because little Timmy on his iPad joined the match and can't hit shit. Dude, accessibility has just gone way, way beyond, like, any point of, like, reasonable conversation at this point. It's literally just stupid shit. Pretty sure this is intended for dynamic difficulty of the game itself, not in PvP. You don't know that. Like, you and your boys playing COD Zombies and co-op, the system detects you're doing super good, so it makes these adjustments or others to make the game harder. This doesn't make any sense. What is this? This isn't the Left 4 Dead game director. This literally refers to speed and reaction. This is all referring to technology. What is this guy smoking? This isn't like a Left 4 Dead director. This is straight up just hampering your performance. and somehow Xbox died first. Xbox died first, honestly, rightfully so. Xbox did so much stupid shit. Well, actually, no. Oh, they did one stupid thing. They had no good games on the Xbox One, and that just did it for them. And then they decided to make Game Pass just like a poor investment decision with all the price changes in time. Man. Sony blocked Fortnite crossplay for years because... Okay, yeah, I remember that. Yet another reason Xbox is going to win Console War 2. No, Xbox is over. No. Sony's over. Microsoft's over. Nintendo at least has, like, the IP... Nintendo has not royally screwed over their IPs yet. But from a public opinion perspective, outside of, like, direct Nintendo fans, they definitely have, like, a very unpopular... public reception because of how they throw their weight around in like a lawsuit situation or a legal situation. So Nintendo can probably get by just fine. But as Steam becomes more and more accessible, then that's just gonna be more problematic. Pokemon can fund Nintendo. Honestly, any game can fund Nintendo. Did I finish the ZZC story? I haven't even started the ZZC story. We're doing Endfield tonight because this is going to expire in less than 5 days, so I want to get this out of the way first. Freckles, did you want to be in chat, or are you still, like, recovering? The story was good. I know the story's good. Hello, Storm. Did you play the new Umbral? Nope, that's what we're doing tonight. We're doing Etchspace Salvage, and then we're going to do some Umbral Monument. We're gonna get the shitty thing out of the way. Briefly? Okay. Well, I'll hop in and just see how you're feeling. Okay, nope, we're gonna do Etchspace. Can I just... No, I can't. I actually have to go to Zone 4 and just start collecting stuff. They didn't make this, like, any more bearable, did they? Probably not. Think we should ban Freckles? Yo, I agree. I got a better idea, guys. We should make a text chat in our Discord and not tell Freckles, and we give everyone a role so that anyone who has the role can see the text chat and they can shit on Freckles without him knowing. If you know,
how can I improve if I don't know the criticism, though?
If you know, you know. It's an in joke. You probably don't know what's going on anyway. Probably you absolutely don't. You want me to stream or just wait?
I never know what's going on. Don't stream. Why the fuck do I care? I quit this shit game.
Okay. Is it more fun to do it to his face? Sometimes, you know. What if we want to, like, build up an arc? Like, what if we want to, like, build up a special arc where we pretend to, like, be at each other's throats for, like, maybe 2 weeks, and then nothing becomes of it, you know? Let's talk more about this publicly. Freckles quit Endfield already? Yeah, he uninstalled it like yesterday. But since you uninstalled it, would you like to give your thoughts, like, now?
No.
No? Okay.
I've given the thoughts basically every day, regurgitated the same rough ideas with new nitpicks slipped in ever since, like, the 3rd week. Maybe even the 2nd week.
He got Max Dupe Dragon Lady? Yeah, that's Freckles. He has no qualms with spending a bunch of money on stuff. Absolutely has no qualms with spending a bunch of money on stuff. That did no damage.
Yeah, no, like, I'll see you guys for NTE.
Bro, I'm not playing NTE. I'll play it for like a little bit, but I'm not sticking around.
Or like I'll see you guys for. I'll
I'm
see you
not.
guys for
I'm
like.
not. I'm not interested in Azure Premilia. I'm not interested in NTE. I don't care about rewinding Cadence, though that probably isn't going to come for another. I'm not interested in Mongrel Stardive. I know it's probably not called Mongrel. It's like Mongil or something. Not interested in that
What
either.
the fuck are half the games you're mentioning? Nobody knows these.
You're waiting for why NTE look good? NTE doesn't look good to me. Maybe I'll have a change of opinion when it actually comes out, but
You're in the
I don't feel that way.
minority of gamers. Most gamers think NTE looks pretty promising.
Really? Okay, fine. I guess I'll be surprised when it comes out, and if I'm
The
not,
difference
well,
is
rip
when it
bozo.
comes out and how it is.
I can't get over that.
So yeah, I'll see you guys for NTE or Azure Premilia.
Hey, the more people that leave Enfield, the better Enfield will get in an attempt to get people back in. So that's all for that. So I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, good luck with that. This shit doesn't run on fucking cotton candy and dreams.
I only care about Ananta. I absolutely only care about Ananta. NTE, Neverness to Everness looks like it'll do a few interesting things, but it won't really knock people's socks off. So I'm going in on the speculative investment of the idea that Ananta could either be a flop or it could be like the greatest thing that we've seen in a while. So I'm gonna ride that cope train like crazy.
Lich Vulcan, I suggest you notice there is a new tide. There is a new trend in gaming that is actually being set right this moment, right? And that trend was kind of picked into a little bit with Where Winds Meet, and it has absolutely been tapped into with Crimson Desert. And that is not only gameplay, but also variations or variety or attempts to do things outside of the paint by numbers that we've gotten so used to with games, right? With Where Winds Meet, you have this, pseudo MMO, gacha for cosmetics game that has Souls-like boss fights, GTA, running around wanted system, being able to talk to individual NPCs that have their own, basically AI programming, and I mean literal AI, where you can chat to them with typing, and it will give messages, and the game will remember this specific NPC was the one you're talking to. All that type of stuff. Like Where Winds Meet has a lot of crazy shit, and it got very popular because of that. And while maybe it's dwindled a little bit in the West, I bet you Where Winds Meet is still doing probably pretty well in China, right? We're seeing relatively the same thing happen right now with Crimson Desert. But the difference is Crimson Desert is selling itself as a single-player, basically Skyrim experience. When Crimson Desert came out, pretty much the consensus universally for the first week was there's a good game underneath, but man, there's all this friction and all these controls, and the story's not very good. And quite a few of those the devs fixed immediately before the end of the first week. And on top of that, as people decide to start playing more, they realized, hang on, sure, the story might not be great, but there's all these things I can do to play the game, right? It's not just, it is strictly this type of game, and it will never attempt to be anything other than this type of game, right? It's having these games now that are trying to do multiple things, even if they don't succeed, right, at making something that's super amazing, as long as it's competent enough, and there's some other things that reinforce it that are very good, which would be the combat here in Crimson Desert. all these extra little flavor you add at the same time can make it feel quite amazing. And, you know, at first people were saying, like, you know, what the heck is Crimson Desert? There's so much going on in this game. But now, you know, everybody loves it after playing it for a week or two because they realize, holy shit. Like, yeah, some of this stuff can be a bit sloppy, but you can really feel just how fun it is to just have all these, like, little mechanics, combat styles, types of gameplay interweaved into an open world game rather than just being an open world game Skyrim style of, like, run to this area, fight the mobs, you know, go down the dungeon, pick up stuff, open a box, press a button, done, right? Now, granted, Oblivion or Skyrim back then, that was the experimental, ambitious game. And I'm not going to take that away from it for the time, of course, right? But when that's, like, roughly the formula for open world for an extended period of time, right? There's a growing desire for better or for worse, for, like, a new attempt at not necessarily innovating, but letting loose and just adding stuff just because you think it would be fun. This is how something like Pow World happens, right? It's just Pokemon, right? But they're just like, but what if we had guns and enabled it to basically be like a pseudo, like, management game where you can make them do stuff, right? That blew the fuck up. Now, partially because, you know, I think there's a real thirst for a Pokemon game that is more than just what we know for Pokemon, right? But I think the same idea is here. So, to loop back to what I was trying to say by bringing up these three games, Where Winds, Crimson, and Power World. To circle back to Anada, right? Because someone said, oh, Anada, the game that looks like it's trying to do everything, right?
I like ambition. What can I say?
Exactly, yeah. If it's executed well enough, it doesn't have to be the greatest mechanics of all time, right? It doesn't even have to be the greatest execution on each individual mechanic. But if it's solid enough to kind of be weaved into the loop of gameplay and add enough texture to break up or even add to it what could be monotony, or in other words, or possibly even enhance the strongest part, which is the gameplay loop, then, as we see with, again, Crimson Desert, that could be far more powerful than just trying to create a high-quality thing that doesn't really take any chances and doesn't really try to do anything different, right? I mean, when you think about this game, right, if we're going to use a direct example,
I'd say Endfield is the most ambitious thing we've had in a while, whether or not you think that ambition is good or not.
I don't really feel the same in the slightest. The most ambitious thing about this game is that there's building. But the building, A, is in plots of land, and we've played enough of these fucking mini-games and gacha games.
What would you say is the most ambitious thing we had, then? If not Endfield.
And, like, what, gacha?
Gacha game. Like, if Endfield, if you don't think Endfield is the most ambitious thing we've had in a while within gacha, then what?
Just probably still Genshin.
Still Genshin. Just
Still
Genshin.
Genshin for the time. Nothing about Endfield is inherently unique. But again, like the building. Guys, we've done so many mini games in these gachas that, like, take place in these, like, separated off from the rest of the game environments, right? That the core building in your little outposts is really not that unique. Because I've played so many of those, like, you have to put a oddly shaped block into a giant square and try and fit it all together in certain ways, right? I've played a minigame like that in numerous of these gacha. The only difference is that this factory system is just an upscaled version of that with pipes or conveyor belts. That's it. That's it. Like, I do admit I enjoyed building the factory, especially as somebody who did it without blueprints. I did it hand by hand, item by item, the entire time. But while it was addictive, it felt very... Would vapid be the right word?
Shallow?
I'd say shallow, yeah, probably shallow. Because the idea was that the whole game would be, you know, around the building. As in, like, the building would get you all these things, or enable you to have improved gameplay systems, or access to things. And after a month, you just realize that it's just for gear. Consumables don't matter. All these resources for outpost stock bucks doesn't matter because you just do the fucking elastic goods. They literally make the stock bucks you can get from making things at a factory, especially in Wuling. It's especially offensive. They kneecap its feeling of effectiveness because it's still a gacha game, and they need to make you have every reason possible to log in daily, and not just every other day, right? And because of that, that's where elastic goods exists, right? Because elastic goods just get you more bucks hand over fist. So yeah, I mean, now it's not like the building never went anywhere, right? I think the best example is the spot in Wuling where you have to drain the water, and then under that there's like a little underground village that got sunken in. Like, that's really cool, but that's one moment in the otherwise relatively medium-sized Wuling area. And your other forms of exploration through building is just that. It's just you go and drain more water. So that was the first time I went and drained water, was for that water village mini quest. And that was really cool, getting to explore that. But then when you go and you drain the water for these little pools where a chest is, or you go to the little water treatment facility in the southeast of Wuling City, and there's like these little water puzzles, and you just cheese the water puzzle with the water pump rather than trying to do the puzzle. Like, it's not really unique anymore, right? Because now it's just normalized puzzle gameplay. This is gone away from the unique idea of cultivating the land. Not necessarily cultivating, manipulating the land, and has just turned into, you know, a puzzle you do at random spots when you find
Hello,
it.
Sanders.
So yeah, I don't think the factory on paper, of course, it is ambitious, but I have friends that play the game that are furious that the devs have actively said they will not make building more complex or layered. They will simply just make different building you have to do. As in, we're not going to keep layering things on top of each other. we're just gonna be like, oh, new area. You don't have to muck around what you currently have. Just place this new building and resource somewhere in a corner you aren't using.
And where's my Enfield video? What Enfield video? I'm confused. When did they say that, considering they have just made it more complex via byproduct handling?
I mean, that's not really complex at that point. Byproduct handling? I've already mentioned that consumables are basically useless. And if you don't believe me, first off, there's a healer or shielder subclass in the game. You bet your ass they're just going to add ones that will just give you damage, right? Secondly, you can't use healing in Umbral Monument in Agony. So we already have a, set defined case of yet another one of these gacha games having 3 billion food items, but then not allowing you to use the food items in the only content that people that actively play the game constantly would want to use them, right? Like, nobody's building all the 10 to 20 different foods in Star Rail in a new area to fight the one red mob guarding a chest once. And then it's just like, wow, I'm so glad I made 30 food to prepare for this. Right? This same thing here. It's just we have another one of these games that actively does not give a fucking damn about the idea of consumables in the slightest. I mean, you can't even mass produce any other type of food item that has offensive properties. Like the ult regain or the crit and attack buff food. You have to kill mini bosses to get a material to make that food on top of the materials you already have to have. They want you to go farm like you're playing World of fucking Warcraft for offensive consumables that have effectively no fucking use, because you can't use them in Umbra Monument Agony.
So long, refried beans.
Look, you can't even use them here in Etchspace Salvage.
But you don't want
Ari's
to use
food
the
indicators. Ari's food indicators are fucking like a black circle right now, as in they can't use anything. So, if we're talking about byproducts, again, it's just like the occasional thing they want you to use to do things in the open world, like the sprayer or the bombs, which, okay, you make bombs in the first hour, so that's handled. And the sprayer is just you divert a little bit of Zanite to making like 100 bottles or 1,000, and you'll pretty much never need more than 1,000 for like anything else in Wuling. And then that's it. It's just back to gear. It's just so pointless. Like all of us have these big, massive factories, and they don't do anything. It's just window dressing.
Non-going has to be most overglazed character in ZZZ. She isn't that much better than Vivian. Well, she's a stunner, and she opens allegedly. Now, I don't know how true this is, because I don't really futz around with like that stuff like crazy. But apparently, non-going you enables. People say she saved Anomaly, but I don't really know what people are talking about when they say that. Genuinely do not know what they mean when they say that.
So, yeah, that was a really long-winded way to say that, in theory, the building was ambitious, but when you really break it down, either through time spent or analyzing it, both groups arrive at the same conclusion that they really don't do anything. Again, it's window dressing, right? It's just really fancy curtains, right? You can open them, you can close them. You know, they look pretty. They keep like they keep the hot air in. They block out the sun when you want to go to sleep.
How do I get down
But
there?
when you pull the curtains.
Oh, I lift the elevator and then jump down. Okay.
But when you pull the curtains aside, you realize that the building in this game is just something that just gets pushed to the side like curtains. The factory is kind of everything, but it's kind of nothing, and that's actually the worst part about it, right? If you want to actively engage with Endfield for the first, I can't even say that this is a min-maxer thing, right? Because there are going to be times where you're using blueprints. You got to add something else, and your blueprint might not account for it. So you then have to actually figure out how to build, because you're not about to delete your whole factory. You already set up the blueprint, and it's already making shit for you. So now you got to figure out how to add your addition on. So you got to start figuring out building. So even with or without blueprints, it being everything and nothing is a problem, because no matter what, if you don't want to engage with it or do want to engage with it, you're going to be spending hundreds of hours in this game just to get to Wuling and get yourself off the ground. Bear in mind, again, that still includes putting enough effort in the factory in Valley 4 to get the beginner resources from the Valley 4 rabbit shop. You're not just going to leave those resources. A lot of those resources are your early game progression. And especially since they thankfully added a guaranteed craftable, etchable essence. It's how I got a perfect Yvonne essence just immediately, is I just bought the thing in the shop.
Wow. Alright, well. What am I missing? Oh, I need more giant weaponry. Tubular fragment. Okay, yeah, we can do it. But hey, now that Nangguang out, and the internet is saying, oh, she makes Vivian, like, obsolete. Okay, well then, just buff Vivian. Problem solved. I'll absolutely take a Vivian buff. Anyway, back to Endfield. I'm just gonna stick around with the game, because why not? I mean, I don't really have any reason. I don't really have any strong reason why I wouldn't exactly want to. I'm curious to see what'll happen with Endfield. I think it's possible. I think it's possible that we might see like massive sweeping reworks of the game, depending on how things go. And as the player base starts to dwindle more and more, the likelihood of seeing that actually happen goes up and up. So I'm all for seeing how that goes.
Shiba and I agree with you when you say that the complexity comes from optimizing the factory. I agree with that, especially when I had to figure out how to, like, you know, bundle of cords, you know, move everything, or slide, you know, conveyor belts. Yeah, I had to weave it into empty spots left over from my other buildings and my other conveyor belts and stuff like that. I liked that, but I am like one of the 0.1% of players for most video games, in the sense that I will just autistically get my hands in there. I mean, for fuck's sake, Ari doesn't even read kits half the time.
Yep. Don't read kits and proud.
I sit there and I will
You're waiting
read
for
and I
Wuba
will get
2.0
in the
version of
weeds.
Endfield. Yeah, that's how I feel as well. Whether or not that will
I
happen is
remember-
another thing entirely.
I remember when I specifically complained about Avwina in the first month of the game not being able to apply electricity on her own, despite desperately needing electricity. And I had 3 different people saying, she does apply electricity. And I said, on her own. And they say, yeah, she has a thing that can do it. It's like, no, you can't do it on her own. She needs somebody to activate it first. You fucking bloated bastard retardation. Fucking read the kit. So yeah, anyway. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I'm 0.1%. So if we take that back to the factory, right? I do agree that optimizing and min-maxing the factory can be fun. But I was under no illusion, even from the first week, that people would want to do that. Like, this is a super hardcore gamer thing to appreciate, is the factory, right? I don't care how popular Satisfactory is, or the other one. I don't remember what the other factory game is that people like. Satisfactorio.
You just mixed the 2 names together. It's Factorio and Satisfactory.
Oh. Thank you. Anyway. I don't care how popular those games are.
Hello, Taito.
A modern mobile game audience are not people that want to build a factory. They're not. There's a reason why. Have you guys ever thought about here's the thing. There is a lot of like management mobile games that are popular. Clash of Clans, obviously, right? But there's a reason why a lot
Fallout
of those are
Shelter, Simpsons Tapped Out.
There's a reason why a lot of those are simply just, do you want to build building? Do you have resources to build building? Now figure out where you want to place that building.
Now wait.
Yeah, basically, yeah. No complexity, really. It's simply just a bunch of resource values and timers. There's no elaborate nuance. There's no resource management outside of time itself, and only time. There's none of that. So, a factory system be elaborate for the modern, not even gacha audience, modern mobile audience, because these are still mobile games, right? That's the main appeal first and foremost. That's just not gonna work.
I'm curious how much Ross is gonna rake in for them. We're gonna be at like the very tail end of the month. So gotcha misinformation PvP is obviously gonna have some wonky numbers that people are gonna rally behind or dismiss as per usual. Okay, well that's all that. I'm good, okay. So what do we have? Okay. Oh, well, actually we made quite a bit of decent progress in this. Nice. This gotcha drama T-Tox is just what I need. Hello, Frontiers. Bro, the standard banner in this game is like the biggest boner killer. Not that pulling on standard was really all that thrilling to begin with. Okay.
Lich, the reason why these games open up on PC is because It's just a little bit of extra money they can get from the port. Like that's it. That's it. It's not. I hope you're not doing what a lot of other people do. I say a lot, quote unquote. It's just the people that are, I don't even want to say coping, they're just stupid. A lot of people saying like, oh yeah, then why did it release on PC then, right? It releases on PC because, again, two things. First off, as I said before, a mobile game, especially a gacha of high quality of the modern day, wants to cast the widest net. The more people it can get with that net, the more chances you can get of getting a whale, right? And PC is just one avenue for that.
I gotta use the bathroom. I'll be right back.
That's reason number one. Reason number two is it's an optics thing. What do I mean by optics? What I mean by optics is this is yet again another thing that Genshin pioneered, is the idea that if you promote yourself to feel like an actual video game, that on its own will be its own marketing and promotion, because you'll have people that are genuinely impressed, not just a shitty 30-second YouTube ad of some, like, you know, guy you've never seen being like, wow, download League of Heroes today. I love this game, guys. Or those shitty ads of like a pixel adventure game where there's an AI voice that says, guys, after playing this game, I have uninstalled every other game on my phone. You know, those ones? You don't need that with these gacha games, right? If you have these higher quality ones, they will basically do their own marketing to a certain degree and just also feel a lot more real. So again, it's just all to suit casting that wider net. And you can't you can't confuse, oh, well, they made the game for PC with PC is important to them. It is, but it's not important enough to actually be a driving factor over mobile.
Where does Buddy go? Where'd Timmy go? I kind of wanted my teammate back.
You're moving to China? Good luck with that mix-up.
It's an interesting place to move to, but I won't judge.
Oh yeah, by the way, for all the new people that hopped in, maybe they didn't hear me say it earlier and they're not in the Discord, I quit this game. I uninstalled it 2 nights ago. Just to, you know, just to keep getting the word out. You disagree with that? Sure, it's a thing, but first off, there's no disagreement. This is a factual or false statement. This is yes or no. There's no disagreement here.
Are there 4 of them?
Also, again, you think it takes that much resources to take a phone game and put it on a computer. You realize that they probably make these apps with a computer anyway, right? There's probably a lot of especially for mobile gaming, which is, as we've known for over a decade, has been the most profitable form of gaming for the longest time, you don't think they already didn't have tools in place for most mobile games to actively, if they desired, make the transition to have a PC variant? You don't think they weren't already, you know, able to do that in the grand scheme of things, like have the option available to them? Yeah, again, there's nothing to quote unquote disagree with here. I'm telling you what the case is. And bear in mind, out of all the things I've said in the last hour, these games not necessarily, you know, focusing heavily on official gaming, like, you know, like the more powerful consoles or the platforms like a PC, right? This isn't that big of a deal of a point that I made, right? I don't even remember what point like we're talking about here. We have to scroll up. Yeah, if I'm a little sluggish, I had a root canal. You gotta give it a moment.
Bro, this one guy's not doing shit.
I thought you were sick. Well, now it's root canal.
Well, he's like at the tail end of recovery, but he also just had like root canal done. Ow. That was kind of a nothing. Alright. Even GPG's implementation of Arknights, which is native... Oh, this is like some more like technical stuff. Hello, gamer SFM. How come Blue Archive takes so long to have a PC port? I didn't even realize Blue Archive had a PC port. I thought you still had the Blue
Lich, I feel like
I thought you still had the Blue stacks, that stuff.
Lich, I feel like you're making more arguments that the PC players are even less important. I'm arguing. Okay, I'm arguing. No, it's not arguing. It is a fact that, again, they just put it on these other platforms like PC to cast that wider net. And you're firing back with actually, it's fucking ass to try and set the shit up on a PC. So you can really tell they're putting in the effort because they really, really care about the PC players.
The AI is going to be a real pain in the ass for this fight, for this one on Agony, isn't it?
No. If anything, you're making a better argument for why they should pull PC support for a lot of these things. So here's the thing. I'm not a tech guy, okay? The part where I said about, like, you know, oh, if they make something, you know, they could probably figure out a way to have a PC variant of it or whatever, right? I'm not a tech guy, but I can definitely tell you that with what you just said, it still doesn't really look favorably. It's not my argument. Well, I don't understand your argument. You bring up some example of some... what is GPJ?
Oh, I see. He sets them on fire and they blow up. Okay, but hear me out. Wouldn't it be funny if the arena just spawned one every like 2 seconds? And the room should just be filled with these sluggy boys. I feel like they're not spawning enough. They're absolutely not spawning fast enough. Also, flamethrower guy ain't exactly a threat.
Serious, I'm not reading that correctly, am I? That Endfield on PC made more than mobile? That's a really, really fucking bad sign. I'm sorry.
Really? Because when that information first came out, everyone was happy when they heard that information. Like, yeah.
Oh, that's so retarded. Oh my god.
Wait, are you serious? Wait, because most people thought it was great because, well, I thought for a while part of the reason why people liked it is because it once and for all proved that it's not just mobile sales that matters in these games, but it.
That's so dumb. You people are all so stupid.
Do you want to like?
Okay, I have to explain this now as well. Okay, here we go. So, when you have one marketplace, PC versus mobile, right? And you have one that historically, hand over fist, and basically not disproven in pretty much any shape or form. When you have one market that is known to sling out cash just at an absurd rate comparatively to its competitor, a PC, right? And you tell me that your main selling market for your game during its like wham, right out of the box period, is the one that traditionally doesn't make as much sales, that's a fucking terrible sign. That is a horrible sign. First off, globally, right? There are infinitely more phone owners than computer owners. And that might start to increase.
Rossi is out, not in my region. Not in my fucking server region. We over here on the western side of the US, all right? We never get shit early. We always get shit last. It fucking sucks out here.
I guarantee you that if these games didn't have an PC or console ports, the user base would be noticeably smaller because all these 3D action games complete ass to play on mobile. COD Mobile. Come on, Lich. Like, come up with some COD Mobile. Lich. Please, just first think. Just think. Please. God, man. What am I doing with you people? If people can sit there and play COD Mobile, which I've never played COD Mobile, but I'm going to assume it's just fucking COD, right? A PvP game, first person, with, for the most part, relatively the same idea. You're gonna sprint like a chicken with your head cut off, and occasionally shoot somebody, right? I would rather play one of these games on mobile before COD Mobile, right? Because when I think of COD, and bear in mind, COD is a console game, right? So I feel like I'm actually the one in the right.
Thanks,
here when I
Edmund.
say
You
this,
fucking idiot.
right?
You missed.
Most people know COD as the thing that is best enjoyed with a controller. Now, you can say you prefer mouse and keyboard. I'm not gonna fight you on that. But like, when people think of Call of Duty, they think of playing it on like a console, right? And a controller just feels really good, right? But if COD Mobile can be like this massive thing, and it's on a fucking, mobile phone, I think the 3D gachas are doing just fine, buddy.
This is fucking obnoxious.
Okay, I'm back. There's a difference between FPS and action game art, bro. Not in this conversation. But let me explain, okay? The first-person shooter, coked up PvP competitive game, right? And can we play it on a phone? You have, and then you have open world. You have, you know, your character and your party. Genshin, Wuwa, I don't care. You pick whichever one, doesn't matter. And then you have, in the distance, 2 enemies standing right there. But when you walk up to them, they're gonna spend 5-second intervals between swinging at you. And in theory, you've made a team that can handle or try and work out these situations where you have food and consumables, right?
Oh, for fuck's sake, dude. This is so fucking obnoxious. These two just sit in their fucking fire.
Do you now understand why?
What is this?
This
isn't like just the flamethrowers being a pain and like being a problem in like Overworld. This is literally just a poorly designed map where they're just fucking sitting jerking each other off in their flames for 8 hours.
Lich, again, you're assuming. I don't even have to go far with this. More people have phones. More people have phones. More people game on phones. This is just a factual statement. We don't have. I'm not gonna even elaborate further than that. Like it just answers everything on its own. Anyway, as I was trying to say before, is that, like, guys, stop playing devil's advocate and just meet me head on, okay? Meet me head on, and let's acknowledge this, okay? Historically, the vast majority of people that own a PC or play on a PC don't want to sit there and spend $1,000 per video game, right? Unless you're CS:GO. That's a different story. Or like CS:GO or I don't know, League of Legends or something like that, right? One of those like big games that has like, you know, some kind of gambling, but to be fair, that's partially because people try to resell that shit, right? Most people that are playing like an MMO, or they're playing like a co-op game, or they're playing PvP like Battlefield, right? They just want to pay their roughly, $60, now $70. Maybe buy some expansion packs when they come out. They just want to keep playing their game. Maybe occasionally pick up a single player game. They go mod that. They go all these other things. Blah 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 blah. Right? This group of people, PC gaming, historically, that does not even compare in the amount of like loose throwing around of game or in-game purchases comparatively to a mobile phone gamer. Okay? Now, again, you can still have a lot of these games, especially nowadays on PC, for the last 15 years, that have a lot of microtransactions. And yes, that they're most likely a lot of people have spent a lot of money on these microtransactions, right? Like Warframe or something like that, right? But when you then add the factor of the increased number of participants or customers from the mobile space, right? Just naturally, because again, they all have phones. All these people have these phones. They might not even have like a piece. If they have a different console that's not a, if they have a different game playing device that isn't a phone, it might actually be a console, right? It might not even just only be a PC, right? And we know consoles are fucking weak as all hell. They've been fucking behind for years, right? So whether it's an Xbox, a PlayStation, or a PC, it still doesn't compare to the number of people, the sheer per person volume that a mobile market has, just out of the gate, and then on top of that, how the ratio of amount of
They
people
really
that are
put a
more
lot of effort
willing.
into designing these battle arenas.
I wish they put more effort into a lot of other things. And again, then the phone players that just flippantly spent money. Largest cohort of spenders on mobile is generally CN, because other ways of playing aren't as big of the rest of the world. Okay, and we are outnumbered by Chinese gamers, and don't you realize numerous people have said before that is also another reason why we effectively have no say? Not only because the language gap, but also just the financial incentive gap. Like, hello?
Hello, Egg.
Wasn't the biggest funding from JP? I don't know.
Nice seeing you this evening. Look, Eek here? Yeah, Eek's been coming around occasionally.
Man, I did not want to have a fucking half-hour conversation trying to
I didn't see
fucking
the telegraph for
explain
that one.
I did not want to have a half-hour explanation of me trying to tell this clearly 17-year-old kid the difference between the fucking PC market or just non-mobile market versus mobile market. Like, I can't believe I have to I can't believe I have to sit here and give a fucking history lesson of that shit.
Did that just happen automatically?
It looked like it got applied to everybody, so yeah. So you're just on a soft timer? Nope.
No, I'll just heal. Alright, buddy. Cool it. Okay, so you need a healer for this. Because you're gonna get combusted regardless of what you do. Alright, she just missed. Cool.
Lich, this isn't condensation. Everybody is disagreeing with you in any shape or form. Whether it's the statistics of PC versus mobile gaming, or just the handful of people here that are already also disagreeing with you. God, I wish I didn't just have a root canal. I am admittedly kind of sluggish still, right? But like, all that's doing is like, I'm losing track of the original fucking point. I think the original point was purely just PC gacha space is as important as the mobile one. Lich, I insult everybody. You're not unique here. I don't think I've insulted Storm yet, though.
Yo, mate.
And just to clarify, oh god,
Drop your
just
damn
to clarify, just to clarify, I have shat on people in this community a lot, but every time I do it to really, really, really just get into these people's, just rattle their head for a second. Because there have been so many times, like, again, I've never engaged with gacha community until the last 4 months ago, or 5 months ago, when I joined Ari's little live streams, stuff like that, right? And when we made the Discord, right? And I have had the pleasure to see the amount, I've had the pleasure just to see a handful, just a few cracks inside what the quote-unquote online gacha community is. And it is a unique little group, let me put it that way, of a lot of...
Fuck, dude.
Ripperoonie. It's just a lot of people basically creating their own, like, facts of the situations, or giving mass amount of weight to things that are effectively, like, nil. They just don't even matter.
Hello, Zed. Nice to see you. Okay, Tangtang's not doing anything for me here. I'm gonna change things up. Just do this.
Lich, if you would mind helping me and reminding me what the original point was, okay?
Maybe try Snowshine. My Snowshine's not built. Why would I use Snowshine?
Like, again, I have been in a bed for the better part of 2 fucking weeks, and I just had dental work yesterday and today. They took my tooth and effectively can openered it. They effectively took a can opener to my tooth, cracked that sumbitch open, ripped the top off, fucking scooped out everything out of my tooth like they're fucking eating a can of beans, and then filled the root back in, okay? I have been in that bed behind me, bedridden, difficulty sleeping, headaches out the wazoo, spitting into a trash can for 2 weeks straight. If I'm a little discombobulated right now, I apologize, okay? I am quite likely, right now, effectively retarded, okay? And now I still want to have a
Come on,
conversation.
Ardelia. You fucking whiffed that shit. What a waste of my skill point.
I still want to have a conversation with you guys. But if I'm fucking missing some of my points by accident...
God damn it, Ardelia. Actually just fucking missing the skill and just hitting the ground. Dolly, I'm gonna fucking turn you into a lamb chop after that shit.
If I'm missing some of my details, or mixing up some of the things we've been saying, I'm fucking sorry. I got medication here as well. It has not been a good month for me.
Go back to the other team.
I don't even have my permanent crown in yet. I have a temporary crown. He also had my teeth removed recently. Mine is being saved. That's actually the great thing. I was actually worried that this tooth would have to get removed. No. They said they think they could save it, so they saved it. So yeah. Now granted, root canals, or at least this type of root canal to fill the... I don't know if there's other types of root canals, right? But for the sake of the argument, and because whatever, right? This procedure I did, there is defined statistics from the paperwork I was filling out this morning before I took it, that the process of attempting to save a tooth with the method that that was given today has a 10 to 15% failure chance. So I'm not out of the woods yet. I could still lose this tooth. So let's just I'll hope we do not roll that 10 to 15% chance. Never had a root canal. I had my wisdom tooth removed. Yeah, I had all 4 wisdom tooths removed from, there was this, like, god-tier oral surgeon that had been doing it for, like, 40 to 50 years. So when I got my 4 wisdom teeth taken out at the same time, it was with this guy, right? And turns out, like very shortly after I had my 4 wisdom teeth removed, this guy got retired.
Why is the restart? Why is the reset for this like so bad?
So shortly after I had my 4 wisdom teeth removed, this guy that again was like professional, 40 years or so, oral surgery, right? He retired shortly after doing mine, and I'm glad I got him before he retired, because he did such a good job that for the 2 to 3 weeks of recovery where I had to stay home, I felt no pain. I took the most basic, go find him right now in your bathroom cupboard, like medication.
There's a button for a faster reset. Where is it?
Like,
E?
it was so
Why
fun.
is that separate from the escape button? P? I'm not in the mood to urinate right now.
I think Lich fucked off. I asked them if they could recount what like the original conversation was, and they just fucked off. You love to see it. And it doesn't seem like anybody else can recount the conversation. Getting a root canal was very interesting, though, let me tell you, right? Because aside from, you know, can opener and all that, there's like this whole process. I guess this is this like I couldn't see, obviously, right? Because you know, I'm right there on the chair. I can't really see, right? They had like all these little pins. Like all these little fine pins and needles, right? That were like probably no bigger than like an arm hair, basically, right? Maybe a little thicker, of course, right? But they were basically like an arm's hair length, right? And they're just all like there had to have been like hundreds of them. There were probably like different measurements and stuff like that, right? And They just put them on tweezers, they put them on little hooks, or they put them on little, like, little drill ends. They go out there and just, you know, in there, just kind of like, I guess just trying to get all the internals out. And these little needles, like, bend, because obviously they're trying to clean out your root and give you, like, effectively a new root, right? So, yeah. You're making me squeamish? Here's the thing. I agree with you. I think we talked about this before, Shiroom, that I have never been a big fan of the dentist, right? But I kind of reached a point over the last couple of years of, like, it's got to get done, right? I can sit here, I can be how I've always been with the dentist and be squeamish as all hell, be very uncomfortably, very nervous, right? Or I can acknowledge that, you know,
He's gonna do it.
it's got to get done, or else either A, the tooth gets lost, or it causes serious pain, illness to me, you can get brain damage from having improper teeth care, because, I mean, your brain's right there, right? I actually had a coworker that almost died. They just straight up, like immediately had to go to the emergency room because one of their teeth almost, like, killed their brain, right? So, like, yeah, it is disgusting, right? And it is uncomfortable. But you also gotta remember, like, as much as a lot of us can, like, be fearful of the dentist, you gotta understand that it's probably one of the most important, like, forms of, like, healthcare, like, in the short or the long term you can have or you can engage with. The weirdest part, though, was, like, near the end, is they whipped out a tool, and then as they were using it in my mouth, I saw smoke coming out of my mouth. Almost as, like, they were using, like, the finest blowtorch in the world, like, like a fine hair blowtorch.
Projectile speed is getting faster.
If it's so important, why doesn't my insurance cover it? There's a lot of things insurance won't and won't do, let me put it that way.
Come on, let me do something. No!
A lot of people in the United States in particular would love to bring up the fact that, like,
I'm so fucking retarded.
A lot of people in the US like to bring up how there's, like, free healthcare in other places. But, it's, like, it's for profit in the US. My stepdad brought up, like, a decent point, though, that in some places, like, because it's free, the wait times could be absolutely diabolical, right? Because they're just so swamped because it's free, right? That just anybody can just kind of walk in or, like, set something up to try and get something, right? And it's like ends up being a strained resource. And while, yeah, for profit has its problem, ultimately it grants a better, more effective, direct, like, work with you type of care. And while, yes, my stepdad is, just like me, he lives in the US, he has visited out of country for, like, business. He's gone on business trips a lot, so he's probably engaged with a lot of healthcare systems overseas in his own right.
Holy shit. Alright. Holy shit. Alright. Fuck. How long was I in that? What was the timer at? Hold on, I need to check. How long was I in that for? I was in that for 7 minutes. Holy shit, dude. Holy shit. Fuck me, dude. Oh.
Wait times in the US will be lower since priced out of half people that would be waiting out of the system. Lol. I've heard that in some places in the US, not everywhere, of course, but some places, it's actually a lot easier to like get some healthcare if you need it, if you have just straight up no money. Because then at that point you just qualify for some like government assistance or something like that, and they'll just completely cover it for you.
So I'm gonna
But like it's when you're like a little bit above that or in the middle class where it's like, yeah, you have money, but a like medical procedure could kind of cripple your current like lifestyle kind of harshly.
I'd say honestly the one I hated doing the most was this one right here with the gas. This one was actually just pretty
The
garbage.
very first one.
The fixed damage that you would just take.
Yeah.
So stupid. Actually stupid. Otherwise, I'd say all of them are solid. I actually didn't mind the bulls. The bulls were funny. I didn't have an issue with the bulls. Okay. Oh, what? Like, got like hardly anything for Rossi. At this point, we're just gonna go with the 10 pull and that's it.
It could be like Canada where they try to get you to kill yourself. What the fuck are you talking about, Mix-Up?
What the hell? But yeah, if Umbral Monument is just that every time, then I'd say this game this mode definitely has the opportunity to be one of the best sets of endgame content. Now, we'll just have to wait and see if they can maintain that quality of like content from reset to reset. I swear it's more expensive. See ya, Shirun.
Good night, Shirun.
Okay, so my level 90s are Levitain, Chen, and Tangtang.
So what else are you doing tonight, or was that?
Oh yeah, I did because I was trying to get my hands on Rapid Ascent for main DPS Chen, because I got Rapid Ascent for main DPS Chen. I did do a little bit more pulling, and I got myself the first duplicate of Tangtang. I don't know how useful this is.
Let me read it. Actually, no, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, wait, yeah, it doesn't matter to you.
What else are you doing tonight, anyway?
I don't know. It's still early.
Alright, well, I said I'd be in here briefly. This was a lot more briefly than briefly I expected.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I blame getting stunlocked by Lich, then trying to take a moment to ask him what were we talking about originally, because I'm kind of a sick, coked up boy right now that needs a little bit of a clarification or a hand-holding right now, and then I was just left.
Monument 3 Agony 2 is deadass why that dodge drama was dumb as hell. Well, you do realize the whole point is the whole point is that if the dodge didn't exist in the game, or the dodge was toned down, is that they would just rebalance the game to facilitate or have a gameplay loop Thanks, Frontiers. So glad I could have you. Sure. Like, you say that, like, if the game didn't have the dodge, they would just do that exact same thing, which, I mean, no. Obviously not. This is a side quest. I don't need to, like, stuff. How am I doing? I'm doing well. Freckles, Freckles, on the other hand, is still recovering. Like, he just had a root canal surgery, so I guess he's had his time and he's gonna go elsewhere. Is he actually? Oh, okay, no, he's in a server with some old friends actually. So he's just hanging out with them and probably just listening to them chew the fat and banter. Eeg, we gotta have like an actual in-call chat one day, just about stuff. We should, yeah, absolutely. When I watch you, Eeg, I kind of feel like watching Call of the Yapper, but with a bit more structure. Like, I don't mind Call of the Yapper, but it does seem like he could probably like cut down. You could probably like cut down 10 to 15 or even 20 minutes of like every Call of the Yapper video if he like came in a bit more prepared into them. Listen here, sir. No, I like Kala. It's just that, man, those are some long fucking videos. Have you been seeing more of the season 1 glazing? No, like since this morning, my Twitter feed, like I think with both my video and Tuhu's video that he came out with maybe like a date like 24 hours ago, it really does seem like both the side has just been keeping quiet. It's just had enough of like in Tuhu's words squatters, just coming in and just doing a bunch of shit that. Doing or saying a bunch of stuff that's not like indicative of like the actual player base. Oh, you're trying to get a non-VOD video? Okay. Should you be insulted? No, I like listening to Call of the Yapper, but there are some aspects of like how Call of the Yapper like formats his content or like he presents his content that makes it that could really do some trimming down. Either that or I just find you more entertaining than Call of the Yapper. I think you definitely have a lot more you have a lot more engaging energy to you than Call of the Yapper, I think is a better way to put it. Call of the Yapper speaks like in a very like matter of fact, and he's not really one for like throwing around with like quips or banter as that much. So if you just want to listen to a guy for 1 hour or more just deconstruct something, then that's called the Yapper. Need to structure videos better. We all take time to get there. But hey, you know, if you want to get like some early channel momentum from like covering drama, then do what you got to do. Just be what's the word I'm looking for? Be self-aware of how much drama you cover, and try not to let that be your whole channel if you don't want to do that. If you don't want your channel to be entirely drama, then you'll want to be mindful of how often you're doing it. So that's not to say you can't do drama, of course. If you can make drama, if you can fit drama into your repertoire, then that's great. But you need to balance drama content very carefully when compared to like any other form of content. Because like you look at somebody like Skull CJ or Blazion or Captain Cabinets. If you dip into drama too much, then people stop getting interested in anything else you do that isn't like direct drama. Drama content, yummers. How does one adjust to adulthood and working? Are you about to start working soon? Or are you just kind of like in that lull where you're not really sure what? So I'm going to be entirely honest here, Consume Sword. I'm one of the worst persons to ask. I'm one of the worst persons to ask when it comes to making that transition, quote unquote, to adulthood. Because when I got into adulthood, I'd say all in all, I very much fit into it very nicely. I was someone who was growing up, hated high school life. I did not have a good high school life at all. So just getting into the workforce for me was a lot easier, and I was more willing to get into it, barring like the initial hiccups of like trying to actually find a job and stuff like that, and like having to deal with the struggles in that. But otherwise, like, I'd say it fit quite nicely into me, into my work-life balance. But then again, I am very introverted, and I am very much a hermit as well. So I didn't really have much going on with my private life anyway before I started working, so it didn't really interfere much in that regard. I need water. College first, then work it out from there. Oh yeah, I did not go to college, and I'm kind of glad I didn't go to college, because it just seems like, at least from my perspective, college is definitely something that is more likely to screw you than to aid you, depending on your circumstances after you get out of college. I definitely subscribe to the idea of what Asmongold says, where schooling systems in the U.S. absolutely groom you into the idea that you have to be in college, you have to go to college, or you ain't gonna make it. Like, that was literally the whole thing for like pretty much a majority of my time at school. Like, in my senior year of high school, you had to make like I think they called it a 13-year plan as one of like the requirements for you to graduate. Which, by the way, I didn't graduate. I just I dropped out in senior year because I just stopped caring anymore. And then I eventually just got a high school equivalency, and then just went straight into the workforce. Well, straight into the workforce is actually a lie. I was unemployed for a year, then got a job, got laid off because it was holiday season, so I was just really a holiday hire that they just didn't bother to say was a holiday hire. Was unemployed for 3 months, then got another job, worked that job for 6 years, quit, and then was unemployed for like 10 months, just chilling with all the money I had from working that job, and then I found another job, and now here I am. I need the directive map to make sure I am not missing the a chest or two while up here. Stuck. If you want to get into a call someday, Discord would be the best way to contact. Yeah, of course. I don't know if you have a means. I don't know if you have a means, or like a direct link to your Discord somewhere on your social medias. I haven't seen it yet, so I'm assuming I assume you're keeping your Discord on something of like a tight lid. Like, I'm sure people can get it if they ask for it, but you want to be a bit more mindful of curating your Discord. It's a command. Oh, I guess that also works too. Yo, it's been ages. It's been ages since I've ever really like muddled around with like chat commands and like live streams. I used to spend a lot of time with I guess it just wants me to wait. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna wait. I used to hang out with someone between like my early years in the workforce and like 5 years in, and he would have chat commands for everything. And funnily enough, I was a mod for his Twitch stream, and for a while I would also just start adding chat commands for no real reason. Oh, are y'all talking about Tabora now? I saw a couple of y'all talking about Toboro. Popping in to say hi, that I enjoyed that you used marathon music in one of your videos recently. Amazing game with an amazing community and passionate devs. Okay. Thank you, Conditioned Hope. I don't mind. I don't really have a strong opinion of Marathon. I just think the art style is absolutely not for me, so I'm just not interested. How do I feel about the game? Well, I just said right there. I don't like extraction shooters. So if I were to give an opinion on Marathon, it would be solely on the art style. It would solely be on the art style, and the art style for me with Marathon is not my taste. Did I watch the Angry Joe Marathon? I actually watched the angry review of Marathon yesterday. Funnily enough. And one thing that I took note of that Angry Joe said in his video is that if the cosmetics are bad, it's going to be hard to sell people on cosmetics to sustain the game. Which I do believe that would be problematic if people aren't interested in the cosmetics. I love the intro. Oh yeah, with the licorice and the stickers. Bro, it's Bungie. The cosmetics will slap. Like, if you watch the Angry Joe review, you can see some of the premium store cosmetics, and like they're just recolors. Like, no significant model changes. And if you just look at the guns in the battle pass, like they're like, it just seems like recolors of like what was already like very blocky looking laptop guns. Don't good games make you incentivize you to spend on them? Well, sometimes there'll be good or like mid games where like the cosmetics don't really compel you or like pull you in any particular way. Also, yeah, Freckles is absolutely the one who will just 10 toes down, just dump a bunch of money on cosmetics without like a regard at all. Out cold. I would never lay right there. There's no way you wouldn't just like unconsciously just roll over and fall right to, well, your death. Spent so much money on Destiny 2. Are you please fucking kill me? What is the game? I think I spent the most on outside of gacha. I think it was Payday 2. I think it was probably Payday 2. I'm trying to think if there was another game that I spent so much money in. You've been low-key logging in less for ZZZ. Well, I've been doing the same with Girls Frontline too. But Lane is the next character, and I have a guarantee, so I will get my hands on Lane. That is for certain. The game is out early, and recolors make perfect sense for character readability when it comes to an ability-based extraction shooter. Well, you could also argue to just not do that art style. Like, you could have just also just not have that art style to begin with. Like, the original... Wasn't the original Marathon just a Doom clone? Like, wasn't the original Marathon a Doom clone? Marathon old game. Just take a look for... Marathon 1994. I want to take a second. I want to look at Marathon 1990. So, let's just say, just looking at this, the original Marathon, the arts, let me be honest, like old shooters like this, like Doom, Duke Nukem Forever, and like Marathon, they didn't really have an art style per se. It's just function over form. So I find it weird. Is there like is there like some extended universe? Some extended universe like that's the marathon character. Is that what the marathon character looks like? Because that looks far from like the characters we have in like the modern marathon game. The game hasn't been out long, and I'd imagine that making the models vastly different would be a bad move when character readability matters. Yeah, but it also is a game that's trying to sustain itself off of cosmetic sales, so you kind of need to wow people with that. You look at, like, Overwatch. Even Overwatch, when it first came out, like, readability wasn't necessarily a problem. Because they already had like the general silhouette of the characters figured out. Okay, to be fair, that is probably why Overwatch had a much better handle on it, is because their silhouettes were far more distinct. Like, it doesn't matter if the Bastion player is wearing whatever kind of skin, you can kind of tell it's a Bastion. Like, it doesn't matter if he's wearing this, like, you know it's Bastion. You look at him, you look at Ana, you can tell that's Ana, But then you look at like marathon characters. Not really enough going on for you to like peek them out. Especially with like the art style of the environments, I'd say. I'd say these this style of like this weird plasticky robot look definitely does a disservice in being able to like see what's going on. Preying on Marathon's downfall, URZA? Didn't Mtash literally come out with a video for Marathon? Talking about, I know Mtash is like going hard. Mtash is going hard into Marathon right now. I watched this video for like a few minutes. By the way, this is Mtash basically saying like he's not worried about the state of Marathon. Mtash is treating Marathon like a Call of Duty dad would treat the newest Call of Duty. Is like he's just basically saying he doesn't necessarily care about like the overall health of the game so long as he's enjoying it. And he's treating it kind of like a Call of Duty dad, but I don't know if Mtash necessarily. By the way, I have a feeling Mtash heavily curates his comment section because you have to scroll pretty far down to scroll pretty far down to like find anything negative. It's like positive. Okay, this is taking shots at Arc Raiders for some reason. Okay. In support of the video. It's positive. I don't know. I'm saying don't toss this Marathon. Any shot against Marathon, I will take. Wish you the best luck. Dude, Marathon, to me, Marathon is like one of the most fascinating games we have right now because it's like a clash between two like gaming cultures. One is like the anti-modern audience, like anti-woke, yada yada yada, and the other is like a group of people who actually like Marathon that are not necessarily against like what the other side wants, but they don't want Marathon to be like, they feel like Marathon's being caught in the crossfire unfairly. And they want this one to not go down 6 feet under because of like how a bunch of people perceive Marathon to be. Am I a part of the anti-woke crowd? I have no opinion, if I'm being honest. I watch from the sidelines and eat popcorn, if I'm being entirely honest. There is one, I will say this right now, Conditioned Hope. There is one game that would make me anti-woke, and it's the Saints Row reboot. When this came out, this just killed me inside because I am a massive fan of Saints Row. When this happened, this radicalized me. This piece of shit right here, this absolutely radicalized me. So depending on which, so I'm gonna say it right now. It's a game by game basis. If we're talking about Saints Row, I am Anti-woke 100%. I will pay for this game's down. I will pay for this game's downfall, which it already, you know, killed itself. Blame millennials? Absolutely. Still never got that Saints Row 2 port. It's sad, really. Isn't those Saints Row 2022 is your Sonic Forces? I get, if you want to put it that way, yeah, Frontiers. So isn't Konami isn't Konami doing good right now? Hold on. Metal Gear Solid 3. Was this game good? Did this game come out and was it well received? Snake Eater on Steam. Because for the longest time, Konami was hated in like the games industry for ages. So I'm just this is literally my only cope. My only cope is that I think Gearbox owns the Saints Row IP right now. That's not a good thing, by the way. Gearbox needs to cleanse itself of like a Randy Pitchford or two, you know? But I'm hoping that eventually we'll get like a Saints Row 1 and Saints Row 2 reboot like so many years down the line, and it could probably do something. It could probably have a turnaround for the franchise, kind of like what Konami did with Snake Eater. But holy shit, that is probably the biggest fucking cope I've ever had in my life. Bigger than the idea of Payday 3 actually making a turnaround is seeing like a Saints Row reboot. So, yeah. Konami has been going through a redemption arc for a while. Is there anything else that Konami has been doing? Because the only one I'm aware of is the Metal Gear Solid 3 remake. I love these little goofy slugs. I'm pretty sure I already know where the third message is. I'm pretty sure I stumbled upon it. Netflix Vania has been successful. Oh yeah, isn't Konami like actually like licensing out? Yeah, Konami's licensing out Castlevania. Now that's I guess if we're talking about not specifically video games, but just Konami's like general PR, then yeah, the Castlevania Netflix series is a W for them if it is being well received. What is Endfield 1.2 characters? I thought I saw a leak for that, but like they're pretty tight. Leaks are just not in a good position right now. Why we didn't get the drip marketing for 1.2 characters yet? The reason why we didn't get the drip marketing for 1.2 characters is that this is Hypergriff, and Hypergriff doesn't have to adhere to like the no. Okay, just push my Ardelia. Why don't you? Hypergriff doesn't have to follow the norms of like what Hoyoverse and Kuro games are doing. I hope that is evidently clear that Hypergriff is not like just blindly following along and copying what Hoyoverse and Kuro games are doing, as seen with the gacha system, as seen with like character banners and stuff like that, as seen with like yada yada yada. So they don't. Who's to say that they have to follow suit when it comes to like drip marketing and stuff like that? They will sue your ass, by the way. Yeah. I ain't taking any chances. Wait, you're okay, Zeta. You're also preying on Konami's downfall. Zeta, is there a company you're rooting for right now? I must ask. Valve? Valve seems like the Valve seems like the easiest bet, though. I mean, I guess if you're fine with that, then yeah. Have you even played, do you even play Deadlock? Valve bootlicker. Zede, do you even play Deadlock? Oh, is that it? Okay. Oh, no. So, okay, that's it. I'm still missing a chest. Am I missing a chest? I'm missing 2 chests. What? Oh, no, I know where the other one is. It's we gotta it's from draining the swamp. Because I hate MOBAs? Oh, I absolutely do not. I absolutely do not like MOBAs either. Very oh, wait. Conditioned. Are you saying the Deadlock community is annoying, or are you saying the Valve community is annoying? Because you've got my interest. I want to know. I want to know why. Which one you're referring to. I want to know which one you're referring to, and I want you to elaborate why. Both? Okay, I'm curious to hear why. If you think it's just like if you're just like kind of fatigued from like the overall just constantly glazing Valve, or if there's something else to it. CD Projekt Red ain't bad either. I mean, CD Projekt Red definitely redeemed themselves with like continuing to update Cyberpunk, but I just don't play any CD Projekt Red's games. I don't really like care about CD Projekt Red's content. Where's the drain the swamp? I completely forgot. Oh, it's down there. I need to go further down. Let's go this way. We get it Steam wins by doing nothing, move on. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, I gotta be honest, guys. Frontiers, the way you say it, the way you say that, it reminds me of Baldur's Gate 3. Like, when Baldur's Gate 3 came out and everyone, like, glazed it like crazy, and then, like, there was, like, the first, like, those 5 or 6 years after it came out, and, like, you would always hear people occasionally bring up Baldur's Gate 3 as, like, examples of, like, well, if they can do it, why can't you? And I just got tired of listening to it because I don't care about Baldur's Gate 3. And you're not gonna make me care about Baldur's Gate 3. Dare I say, and piss off the fans of Baldur's Gate 3. I don't really care about Baldur's Gate 3 as an example in this regard. There was like maybe like 1 or 2 other examples as well that I got annoyed with people constantly using that I just didn't care about like as games. Collab stream Baldur's Gate 3? That doesn't sound like a terrible idea. That sounds like a massive time investment, though. An absolutely insane time investment. Okay. Swamp drained. Okay, we need to go back to that water wheel because I'm missing 1 more chest, and I just have to traverse that water wheel. I don't even remember which way to go. I don't like how Valve manages their games other than Deadlock, and I don't like Deadlock's community because they're all passive-aggressive Yuri fans. Wasn't expecting that one. Wasn't expecting that one. Yeah, Valve have definitely fucked up Team Fortress 2. Counter-Strike is just Counter-Strike, though you could make an argument that CS2 has definitely downgraded some aspects of the game, though I personally cannot like describe to you what aspects they downgrade because I don't play Counter-Strike. The game is long. Oh, I'm sure Baldur's Gate 3 is long. So how many of y'all here TF2 community is in the state it is because of the communities? Well, I don't think the TF2 community necessarily wants bots. I think of like the botting situation in TF2 to just be a separate beast entirely that I don't think anybody really asked for, in my opinion. That is the way I see it. Okay, how do I get to that water wheel? TF2 community are full masochists anyways. Honestly, I would love to play me some TF2, but it just seemed like TF2 is just something you can't really like get into anymore because it's like the community or like the dynamic around it has just changed so dramatically that it's just not really the same experience anymore. I could just be talking out of my ass, but that's just how I feel. the bots are fixed. Well, who's to say the bots aren't back, you know? Okay, where's this chest? Do I just gotta go up? You know what? Why muck around with this when I can use all the Wuling bucks I'm sitting on, buy one of these, and just use it? Why is it not in my inventory? Cool. Now, how do I get there? Oh, it's just right there. Can I just parkour over there? Hold on. Okay, so what was the I'm gonna take a piss after that. Okay. Alright. Okay. God, I'm retarded. Okay. Got it. What did I come back to? Licking Yavone? I gotta be honest. I'm gonna be honest right now. Okay. Hold on a second. Do we need to have another... Do we need to have a licking tier list? I think we need to have a licking tier list right now. Okay. Gold. Where is it? Oh, these are not the characters I care about. Dude, I can't remember which tier list I used last time. This is a faculty tier list, but I don't... Make it a video? No, I'm not doing that. I'm just gonna fuck around doing this for a moment. Where is where is it? 1.1? Alright. Tier list for characters that I'd want to lick. Okay? Alright. So, that. D. That. C. Okay. Akakiri. No. A. Caster B. Alright. C. B. S. Snowshine. A. S. Avwina. Honestly, front of S if I'm being honest. Arknights. C. We'll give you an A. Raccoon, nasty, D. Panda, nasty, D. You here. Oh wait, no, Zaihi absolutely has to go in front of Evwina. I gotta be honest here. Ardelia, yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Like, she's too sweet. I feel like I'd be offending Ardelia if I actually tried to lick her armpit. D, get the fuck in there. Kid, sure, why not? Anybody want maturity? B tier. Leviathan, S. A tier. She's too sweet. I'm gonna put you in A tier if I'm being honest. Tangtang, S, and then Rossi. I'm gonna be honest. No, I'm not feeling it. Okay, there we go. That's the licking. That's the licking tier list. All right, you got it. We go with this. We go with this shit. Calling Prolica mid. Damn straight. Be lucky she's not over here. That's it. That is my licking tier list, alright? Actually, no, fuck that. Put Enmin in... We're putting Enmin in B. She's too vanilla. She's too vanilla of worth licking. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Once again, as usual, B tier being used as like the fence-sitting tier of tier list maker. I don't have to care about anything. The lonely in C tier. Alright. You voted out S, I weep. Like, come on, like. I gotta be honest, I'm not that big of a like a Yvonne enjoyer as like a lot of you are. Like, I think Yvonne as a character in terms of sex appeal, it just seems like she's too easy. It's like, okay, we're just gonna throw pink everywhere. We're gonna throw pink everywhere, and then we're gonna give her like a gamer shtick with like a literal controller in her splasher, and then we're gonna make her kaiju because she can't have too many nerdy aspects about her enough. Wolfguard over Perlica? Yeah. 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 Does this scare you? Does this man scare you? Are you afraid? Are you afraid? Are you actually afraid? Zaihi? Abso-fucking-lutely, Zaihi! Priest with an arm? Pit. Don't tell me you don't want to lick a priest. Her very impressive bakery. Look, guys, I'm going to be honest here. If the ass is too easy, then maybe the ass is just not worth it. You ever thought about that? Wolfguard is scary? Licking people is scary! What the fuck? Don't tell me y'all are just okay with licking someone at random. Like, what the fuck? Where the fuck is it? If the lobster is buttery and juicy, then would it be worth it to eat? I gotta be honest. I am a person who likes my butter in moderation. Unless it is a cob of corn, then I want it really buttery. But otherwise, I'm quite conservative when it comes to using butter in cooking. It's actually been a while since I've had corn on the cob. Maybe I should get that from the store. Wonder how the frozen cobs would taste, or if they were just, it would just be not the same thing. Cob of corn? Yeah, Frontiers, what the fuck is wrong with cob of corn? Oh, right, I forgot you're a Sonic fan, so we have to take everything you say with a grain of salt. My apologies. It's corn on the cob? Why does it matter? It's interchangeable. Who cares? Who cares if I say cob of corn or corn on the cob? It is a cob with corn on it. It is a cob of corn. Central woody part of the corn ears to which the grains or kernels are attached. Yeah, it is the part where the corn is attached to. It is a cob of corn. Duh. Thanks, Google. Also, thanks for giving me an answer without using AI. You think if you... So the thing about Zaihi is that she does have these techno markings on her, so it begs to question, like, how human is her flesh? Would you like lick her and like the taste of licking her would be akin to like licking a Nintendo Switch cartridge? Because that would be pretty bad, you know? We have to take that into account very carefully. Because otherwise, licking her might not be worth it. You make it sound tastier. I mean, hey, you know, sometimes senses and sensations, when they're vile, can sometimes have the opposite effect, where people are actually more entranced by the fact that they're vile, because it is already considered a vile or inappropriate act to begin with. So when you have like this negative stimuli, it might be a positive stimuli, because it is an acknowledgement that you're doing something that is very naughty. I kind of wish she wasn't just like a pretty basic healer. I wish she was like, I don't know, some sort of DPS. Or like just did more. I feel like Jaihi just doesn't do much. What the hell is this combo? This is a combo that you can expect when in the Arikado Zodan live stream. All right, Eeg. I thought after like the first live stream you hung out around with, you would have noticed this at this point. Wait for Wizardel. I don't even like who's like I need to see who Wizardel is, because I gotta be honest, I don't really I only care about Mudrock. Arknights, Wizardel. Okay. Let me see. We should do. Okay. Okay. So, what's so cool about her? What's so cool about Wizardel? Like, she just looks like a woman with like short, skimpy clothes. She's got like small clothes. Okay, like that's kind of cool, but like who cares? 3D art? Or like in gallery? I'm tired of black and red. Yeah, I agree. Black and red is overdone. Okay, hold on. Wizardel. So where am I looking? Waiting for Mudrock? I am also waiting for Mudrock. I think Mudrock looks a lot cooler, and her design is also like toned down compared to that Wizardel. Like you just got like some very simple, like, you know, mercenary clothing that she wears, and then, you know, she has it partially taken off in like her regular form. And also there's just a lot more readability going on with this outfit compared to Wizardel. Like, how much of this is background and how much of this is her actual model? Like, okay, we got like a short tank top, we got like some shorts, we got like, okay, a bikini that goes like over, and then we've got like the strap here, and then we got like these very flared boots, and we've got this coat that looks kind of like a coat, and then we've got a bunch of shit around her. Like she's got the symbiote from Spider-Man. She's batshit insane. There's already plenty of batshit insane like waifu characters I've collected over the time when playing gacha games. I don't need another one. Curious who the black-haired character down there in the art is, though. Let's see the front of that. Flame Tail. Yo, she's kind of cool. Why isn't there melee in Endfield? Oh wait, no, sorry, I'm retarded. Don't listen to me. Do not listen to me. Ignore that. Ignore that comment I just made. I didn't make that comment. I did not make that comment. Arknights. You sit. Gonna get so many tabs. Yeah, I don't mind her, actually. She's got a more modest design. Looks very cheery. Monkey paw curls, one more Ardelia before next 6 start. You do realize Ardelia is my favorite of the standards, right? I actually want more Ardelias, right? I don't want anyone else but Ardelia. Okay, and then, okay, hold on, like, Arknights. Yeah, just another like black and red color scheme character. Okay. Oh, that kind of hot. She kind of bad in that one. Shit, holy sheesh. What the fuck? Yo, this seems like something Freckles would go crazy over. Me and your 3-star sheep girl. What do I expect from Sarkaz? Some fucking color variety? Okay, fine. Where's Sarkaz? Where can I click for Sarkaz? Where can I click for Sarkaz? Let's go back to Mudrock. Sarkaz. Do we have a list of Sarkaz characters? Okay. Alright, let's go through the list. Shit. Go through the list of Sarkaz characters and look at the color schemes we have on offer, okay? And we're looking for ones that are not black and red, okay? Okay, black and red with like some purple in it, okay? Black and red. The dude. Black and red. Okay, next one. Black and blue. This seems like a lower rarity character. Uh-oh. Nope. Never mind. Black and red. All right. Well, can't use her anymore. Okay. Next one. Hibiscus. We got a little bit. We got like... Was she kind of cool? Was she kind of cool? Yo, she doesn't become completely black and red. Wait, she kind of cool. Wait, I kind of like her. Just seems like your demon girlfriend. Okay, we got Hibiscus. All right. Go over here, Hibiscus. Okay, let's see. We got a dude. We got some black and red. What the fuck? No, stay right there. Okay, we got some black and red. We got white. Hey, we got white and red this time. We got white and orange. Is this white and orange? Okay, wait, no, there's some black and red in there. Shit. KFC. Uh-oh. Sunburn. White. Black in there. Okay, Ifrit, I'm not really sure how to feel about you, but we'll just stick you in there. Okay, next. Wait, isn't this just a variation of a character I just looked at? Hibiscus? Oh, these are two different hibiscuses. Oh, okay. Why does lava look so much like hibiscus? Wait, she's kind of cute. Wait, this one's kind of cute. Wait, shit, I like this one. Sisters? Oh, okay. She's kind of cute in this one. I like the twin tail. I like the twin knots. That's a good one right there. Oh, okay, now we have dark lava. And she's... Alright, well, now she's black and red. Shit. Alright, well, it's too much to ask for her to stay out of the black and red. This one's kind of red. There's like a bit of red to this. Okay, well, she's fallen to the dark side. Yo, do we got black and blue? Oh, we got black and blue over here. Okay, this guy, okay, we got black and blue right there. What about this one? This just kind of looks like Anus from Nikkei, kind of. Just with a sweater. Ass is still probably really fat, though. This looks more Nikkei. Okay, so we don't have any red there, so I guess we can put her in there. Where are we? We have Anus and Arknights. Okay, well, I guess they're what's this fuck boy? Alright, buddy. Alright. Nice Twilight collaboration. This guy kind of looks like a Rainbow Six character. Alright, we'll put him in there. We got a scrappy dude. Back alley doctor, motherfucker. Alright, yeah, you can go there. Okay, we got Mudrock. Nasty. This is white, brown, and green. I guess if you want mommies, you got Nasty. Nightingale. That's white. Looks good. That's pretty nice. Nymph. We're back to black and red. What is this hair going on? Is that a heart alarm clock with a key in it? And a bottomless perspective box with a dreidel in it? It's a heart lock? That one's black and red. I can already see the black and red with this one. Alright, yeah, skip. Black and red. Billy? Oh, wait, she looks nice. The Egyptian aesthetic. I'm actually not a fan of this skin. I think the other one, I think the default's better. Okay, this woman looks like one you might want to shoot on sight. She just looks so hostile in this. Generic dude. Sir, we already know what she is. That's a Sakaz? Wait, excuse me? This guy's a Sakaz? Brother, what happened to you? Revenant? Frontiers. I don't... Y'all can't just say Revenant and expect me to understand. Why? So is he not a Sakaz? What's he doing here? Whatever, just go over there for now. That is a fucking massive bow. How do you shoot that shit? How do you reach for one of those arrows? Your wicked little arms ain't gonna get there. I refuse to believe she can actually operate this bow. Absolutely refuse. Is that a crossbow? Bro said massive and didn't mention her chest. It's a big fucking bow. Look at that shit. Who the hell's using that? It's like fucking Goliath comes back from the dead, makes a massive composite bow, and goes on a hunt for David. Holy shit. Yeah, we got black and blue on this one. This looks very masculine for a woman. Could have fooled me into thinking this was just a very feminine dude. She's 191 centimeters. I mean, she looks pretty tall. Cyclops? Alright. Alright, we got black and red again. W. We got a character named W. Alright then. Black and red. Is this a collaboration character? Why is this character's like art detail seem so incredibly simple? Is this a launch day character or something? Launch character? Okay, yeah. This art is incredibly basic. And then we got Weasadell. So we got like what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4. 2, that's like 26 plus 5, that's 50. So it's like what? So like a third, so like a third of the cast? Under half, somewhere around a third, are not black and red. It was like 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so like a third of them do not use the color scheme of black and red, but they still use some form of black anyway. All right. Oops. All right. What time is it? About 2 hours? Don't really, Oh, nice. Well, hello to you too, Rhino. Quite the entrance. So, should I ask on the doll where you were inappropriately handled recently, or are you gonna leave that up to your therapist? Because Sims, you might want to you might need to change the chat from all chat to live chat. Okay, let's see. We got no turrets. All right. Okay, so surely I can just stick the where is it? I can just stick like a bunch of these on, can I? And a deluge tower. What's the deluge tower do? Okay, maybe I want what's the other one? Gas? Maybe just a little bit of gas? Okay, where is the terminal? There it is.
Warning. This area is subject to possible attacks.
Why can't I get any Saint viewers in my streams? I like to bully the mentally handicapped because you haven't taken the opportunity to actually like directly get his attention yet. It is actually that simple. You have just yet to actually be on his radar in like a direct manner, probably in video format. That is easily that. I'll have you know, I have been within his sights multiple times before in the past, so that is very much the self-explanatory reason why I can. Also, he streams in the morning exclusively, so his audience is not an afternoon kind of audience. So you would have to, so your alternative option there is you would need to actually do something to get the attention of like the Twitter crowd, and then they do that for you. So like, I don't know, go piss off Corley or something, and you'll probably see something happen out of that. That's my advice, Eeg. If you want to get some attention, go aggro Corley or something. Alright. Let's see. So what's the range on this anyway? Oh, the range is incredibly small. Alright, well surely I can just do this just... What's the douche turret do? What the fuck? This is way too... This is equally small. So, okay, so... What if I just... That right there... Can I even get away with, like, this? Build a furnace? Like, what, like Minecraft furnace? We're gonna... I don't have the coal for this. Okay, let's assume, hypothetically speaking, it's going to push them to the end of the range. So we want it to sit like, I don't know, like right here. And then we're going to put up a gas turret behind it. Or I guess just right here. So it'll just keep them in that kind of range. And then we're just going to repeat that for like every other area. So. Okay, let's just do the exact. That's a flame turret. Hold on. Stash. Oops. Wait, you know what? You know what? Hold on. I'm going back this all wrong. I'm going about this all wrong. What I want to do is that's the thing, like the problem is that I can't put these so close to each other. So what if I were to, I don't like how I can't level this out. Okay, what if I were to put that there, put a gas right behind it, keep them slowed. Actually, no, put a gas in front to prepare for them to come over. I need more pylons. Did the rhino guy leave already? Yeah, probably. He just said his shit and then just went on his way. Like, who cares? I don't have any Zeronite. Shit. Times like these, I wish I could just go out and mine it. Okay, surely this won't be a problem. Okay, hold on. Let's just let's take a moment to figure this out. So I'm gonna put these right here, and then we're gonna put a turret behind it as close as we can. Okay. Put a tower right here. Didn't notice Rhino. He was beneath it. Yeah, he was. Okay. Oh, yeah. Get rid of that grenade tower, too. Okay. I guess we'll just repeat that same thing right here. Seven. Oh, why did not deploy? Oh, I'm pressing the wrong button. That's why it's not deploying. There we go. And should we just put another one behind it? I think we should just put another one behind it. Then we're here. We need to move this bit. Find it funny that ZZ and Wuwa have better tower defense modes than the Arknights successor. Yeah, this isn't really a compelling form of like tower defense content. I'd even go as far to say that the Stellasora tower defense content is actually better than this as well. And that's even more restrictive than that's as restrictive, or no, it is flat out more restrictive than like the other two in question. Straight up. And it's just more so just supposed to be a throwaway minigame that just shows up every now and then. I don't know if this is like even like a smart thing to do, but we're doing it this way. Can Americans tell me when yards as a measuring unit is used, and I can say a person is 2 yards tall? I hope I'm right when I say this. So I'm pretty sure a yard is used. So every 3 feet is 1 yard, right? Yard to feet. Please tell me I'm right. Yes. Okay. So 3 feet is 1 yard. So that's the measurement for yard. Maybe I should get some like regular turrets to like pepper to go alongside these. No, the grenades. I don't want the grenade. I want like sentries, just like basic sentries. And we'll just stick that, I don't know, like right. Not a good range. Okay, I'm going to assume it can shoot. I'm going to assume it can shoot through the pylon. Otherwise, this will be very unfortunate. Okay, let's see how this goes. Burn him. Wow, that is kind of garbage. Okay, well, have fun with that. What was the name of that? What was the name of that first-person shooter where you built tower, where it was a tower defense game, but you also played it in like a first-person perspective with guns? Was that Sanctuary? This was like all the way back in like the early 2010s. I'm pretty sure it was Sanctuary. Oh. You're gonna A/B test with an AI thumbnail? Wish you the best of luck. I don't know if you've noticed, but it seems like AI thumbnails, at least in the gacha space, don't go so well. I really don't think AI thumbnails go so well in the gacha space. We have like a few examples, and it just doesn't seem to really go well. I actually kind of feel bad for somebody in the gacha space right now. And it's probably somebody you guys don't know. Goes by the name of Zenpai. He's a Zenless Zone Zero creator. And one of the unfortunate things about Zenpai, and I think and this is kind of unfortunate, is that I don't know if you noticed, but like his thumbnails look really good, but literally in the bottom left of every single one of them, like a majority of them, except for this one obviously, it says not AI. I genuinely believe like we're kind of like at a point with like AI like thumbnails and like AI art where there's quite a few people who are starting to get like swept up or caught in the crossfire in terms of like AI art and AI presentation, that some people who aren't using AI at all are starting to just like get unfairly judged just because they designed their thumbnails in a specific way. I think with Zenpai in particular, the reason why Zenpai in particular gets like this feels the need to put not AI on his thumbnails is specifically because I think it's like the vibrant color choices he uses for like his thumbnails. I literally can't think of any other reason. He's thumbnail artist for Kete. If he's his thumbnail artist for Kete, I think Kete might need to renegotiate, because these are some pretty they're not bad thumbnails, but they're very I feel like when you look at Zappin's thumbnails and then you look at Kete's thumbnails, I think you can clearly see that Kete must have bought the basic package, because if Zappin's doing this himself, then I feel like Kete's not really taking advantage. It's R2. R2's the one who. Okay, hold on. R2. Let's check R2. Because R2 doesn't really. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. This is okay, I can believe this, if I'm being honest. I can absolutely believe this. I thought R2 doesn't play ZZZ. Or is that just the joke? Is that just a joke that R2's like the ZZZ guy who doesn't like ZZZ? You pay for thumbnails on my more well-produced videos, but for the lower effort ones, I just put big PNGs. I do everything myself. I do video editing myself. I do my own thumbnails myself. As for like the opinions of my own thumbnails, I don't really have like much strong opinions of, like on my own thumbnails. Like they get the job done, and I recently added the film reel on like the borders, just so it's to add one more element to my thumbnail so people know it's me. So like when they see the film reel, that's one more thing to let them know that this is a video from me. I did see the tweet. I did see the tweet from R2 where he said he was going to delete Zenless if Billy was physical rupture. But I did also see I think I saw a YouTube post where R2 didn't fully commit to that. R2, pretty sure he made a YouTube post where he said, "Yeah, no, I'm not actually going to do that." I don't think I'm permanently dropping ZCC, but would you all actually be down for a Beyblade X side quest? If I enjoy it and can think of content for it, I might continue pushing it on the side, even if I return to ZCZ also below. I feel like if it was going to quit ZCZ over this, he probably was just looking for an excuse at that point. Okay, please tell me it's just the same path, so I just don't have to change anything. Cool. Okay, so we just put more stuff down. Okay, so actually, I think the flamethrowers did a pretty solid job. I kind of undersold them, so we're just gonna stick like a couple more turrets like to pepper them with. Okay, we need to be in range of okay, that is a perfect spot right there. Flamethrowers are broken. Okay, yeah. Like to be fair, I just watched it roast one guy and I just paid no mind to it. So. Okay, yeah, we got 2 flamethrowers. Okay, should we just put one more gun down, or should we just put another flamethrower? What if we put down... What if we put down something to ensure... What do I have? What do I have? Just throw down a grenade tower. Why not just chuck a grenade tower down? Some guys keep saying me and Dijin King sound alike. I'm gonna start fist fighting. Bruh, neither of you fucking sound alike. Do people not notice that the foreign accent from Dijin King? Like when there was one time where Dijin King came into my live stream, and I said something to him along the lines of, I think the reason why you don't retain, you get a decent amount of views with your videos, but the reason why you don't retain a lot of subscribers, this is just a personal opinion of mine. I feel like there's a lot of people in the YouTube space who, it's a roll of the dice as to whether or not your accent will be popular or unpopular. And I think Dijin King, unfortunately, falls on the unpopular side, where I think his accent is one that people aren't really fond of. So they'll listen to Dijin King if the topic interests them, but they won't really stick around to listen to his opinions himself. Now, if I were to think of another reason why Dijin King, despite getting quite a fair amount of viewership, doesn't get that many subscribers, I think it might also just be the delivery of his content, where it's very off the rip and not scripted. This is all just me. This is all just my personal opinions and my perspective on the matter. So I could be incredibly off base. Just put subtitles in my video so people can understand. I think it's not just being able to understand you, but it's also people like, do people find you like an interesting personality to listen to? Like, if people have you off to the side on a second monitor and they're not like focusing on what you're saying, but they're listening to you, is your voice a pleasant enough voice for people to want to like keep listening to? In combination of what like you're actually talking about. Also, I think Dejin King also kind of has the problem that VXV Fiction has as well, is if your content is like almost exclusively drama, but you're a small channel, I don't think people really have anything to latch onto you that is like your own identity. You just kind of exist as like a place to go to so you can keep up on drama, but people don't necessarily like think too much about like you personally, aside from the fact that you're the person that delivers the drama. That's why I feel like people like Dejin King and like VXV Fiction kind of like get a lot of diminishing returns, or like don't see enough returns that they maybe could see, is because they haven't like built their base up or like their identity enough before covering drama content. That is just my opinion, but just in my opinion, the successful drama creators in YouTube creation or like live streaming, you already know what kind of person they are, so it adds texture or like a degree of understanding to their opinions and stances on the matter going in. Whereas like if you're like a small personality or like an incredibly like small creator and you cover drama, people just kind of see you as like a messenger. That's the way I think of it. The way you do your streams is half drama and half gameplay. Yeah, I watch your streams on VOD if I can't catch them live, and I do see like the first part of it is you playing the game, and that's a good thing that you do, Ig, because because you give people the opportunity to watch and learn about you outside of drama content instead of just being there for the drama. Omni is a good example. I don't think I've seen Omni before. Is that his name, or is that like an abbreviation of his name? Like if I were to type, oh, hold on. If I were to type in Omni, I probably won't get anything, right? Inferno Omni? This one right here? Is it this one right here? Dejin also doesn't hype up the drama enough like how VXV does. I gotta be honest. Hold on. Oh, okay, yeah, this is the drama guy. Okay. VXV Fiction, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna have to disagree with you, Wings of Shu. I don't really think Dejin King like hypes up drama. In my opinion, I think Dejin King's VXV Fiction's very like flat delivery of like showing off drama content, I think it actually unhypes it. Like it kind of mellows it out. I don't watch that much VXV Fiction, but this is just my own reasons. Like if I'm gonna watch someone who's gonna talk about drama, then if I'm gonna watch someone talk about drama, it's gonna be like an established creator with like a bigger fan base. Because when we're talking about drama, like the thing about drama is it's two personalities going at each other. So if the personality that you're watching delivering that drama is not interested, is like not developed in and of themselves, then does it really matter? Does it really matter? I think Dejin is a funny guy. Maybe I've just not watched the right Dejin King videos. Because if you think Dejin King is funny, and I think Dejin King is just very okay, then maybe I'm just not watching the right Dejin King videos. It's entirely possible. I am seeing that correctly, 600 videos? On who? Omni? On Omni? 786. VXV Fiction is 467. Bro is content farming? Okay, you're probably talking about VXV Fiction. Yeah, VXV Fiction just kind of latches on to just, VXV Fiction will just kind of talk about anything, really. I don't think, I think another issue with like gacha drama, and this is drama in the gacha space specifically, is like the gacha space already is inherently like a pretty small base when you like take a step back and think about it for a moment. So where am I going with this line of thought? I feel like I didn't really put much thought into this. I feel like I'm just repeating the same thing over and over. Yeah, okay, yeah, I feel like I'm repeating the same thing over and over. Yeah, I'm just gonna retract that statement. Okay. So we've got tower defense done. I mean, we have the Tangtang story, but I don't really know if I want to like actually like dive into that right now. It's getting kind of late. Gacha space is small and niche. Yeah, yeah. If it's a small and niche play. When the gacha space is so small, you only really need like 1 or 2 people to deliver drama content. You don't need so many people delivering drama content because the space is small. People will find it one way or another. I think political drama is the biggest space for drama content, at least as of right now. So I think it justifies having so many people covering political drama, because there's so many different like perspectives and like sides of the aisle that can present like a perspective on this matter. But for the most part, like gacha drama is like pretty cut and dry. Like there's an obvious winner and there's an obvious loser. Sometimes you'll have like different sides with compelling arguments, but I don't think it happens often enough in my opinion. I think almost every single like gacha drama can be very cut and dry, and like you can pretty much figure out who's in the right, who's in the wrong. And if your opinion is that this person is in the wrong, if you think the opposite, then it's probably because you have a bias. Where's the robot? I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. It's just a daily. Saint will go to any lengths to make and extend the drama. Did you guys see the situation earlier today where Saint put out a video going after Genocide for doing a sponsored ad for Do It Night Abyss? Because I'm gonna be entirely honest, I'm actually siding with Saint on this one. I don't know why the fuck Genocide would take an ad for Do It Night Abyss. That seems like a really stupid thing to do right now. Like, Do It Night Abyss is not a game you want to attach yourself to right now. It is in such an incredibly bad state. Actual Genocide L. Massive Genocide L. You barely see anything Saints Vid. Well, just to give the cliff notes of it, Do It Night Abyss is like going down the drain really badly. There was 2 hacks on their servers, and the most recent one sent malicious malware, as far as I'm aware, malicious malware to like everyone who updated the game on Steam or like any of their launchers. So it kind of created like a mass migration where people are just leaving the game in droves, and it is not good for the health of the game. And the developers did an incredibly poor job of addressing the situation. And when they quote unquote did a better job of addressing the situation by like explaining what they're going to do to make sure it doesn't happen again, they started listing off like a bunch of changes to their security systems that they're in place. That makes people think, wait, was that not the case before? I don't feel comfortable sticking around this game. So just by going by Steam charts, this does not look like a healthy player base whatsoever. And they just recently had their version 1.3 live stream, and the viewership on that looks really bad. But Genocide went ahead and took a sponsored live stream advertisement for it, and I think honestly that was a massive L from Genocide. I don't know why he did that. I don't even know like how Genocide's doing right now. Anyway, with the way DNA is dying, it hurts so fucking bad, bro. I know there's quite a few people in the space that I share the space with that actually like Do It Night Abyss. I am not one of them. I am not one of them. I did not enjoy Do It Night Abyss at all during the whole time I was playing it. Did he even have Oh, he didn't do it on YouTube Live. He just did it on Twitch. He doesn't have the link. Okay, it's whatever. Wow, Genocide does not put out YouTube content. Genocide Twitch. Doesn't Genocide stream at night or in like the evening? Did he not stream this? Or did he just not save the broadcast? Actually go Warframe at this point? That's what I said. That's what I said. When hold on, let me find the video. So much for DNA being a gacha killer? Yeah, absolutely not. So here's the problem. Here's the problem with Do It Night Abyss. I predicted that Do It Night Abyss would be bad, like within the first couple days. Like when the first couple days of like Do It Night Abyss came out, I made this video. I'm not sold on Do It Night Abyss yet. This video had absolutely nothing to do with comparing Do It Night Abyss to a gacha game. This had everything to do with comparing Do It Night Abyss to like another retail game that's very grindy, like Deep Rock Galactic, like Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, like Warframe. Those were the games that I compared Do It Night Abyss to. And Do It Night Abyss in right now does not have like a healthy player base to grow and sustain itself long enough for it to get good. And then I only played Do It Night Abyss because like I got in like a spat with somebody over like because a commenter in like a Stella Sora video was basically trying to like put my money where make me put my money where my mouth is in terms of like not judging games without even playing them. So I said, all right, bet. So then I spent like a week playing the game, and what do you know? It was as bad as I thought without ever playing it. Whoop-de-doo. The issue with Do It Night Abyss was never about like the lack of a gacha system. The issue with Do It Night Abyss is just Do It Night Abyss was just not fun to play. It was really just a very slapdash, duct tape and glue held together Warframe clone that was trying to sustain itself on the fact that it had anime characters, and that was about it. Thing is, DNA is, as said, too close to Warframe, and I already have a Warframe account from, I'd say, 2 decades ago. And yeah, I played Warframe on and off on both console and PC for like at least 2 to 3 years, and I've had my fill of it. Like I did not get in depth with Warframe at all, but whatever I wanted out of Warframe, I got out of it. So I don't need like anime Warframe. I absolutely do not. Unless anime Warframe has some really amazing looking characters and some gameplay on the level of Warframe or even better. Do It Abyss absolutely did not have gameplay even close to Warframe. Not in animations, not in feel, not in progression, not at all. Not in... I'd say story. Okay, story is like the one thing Do It Night Abyss probably had over it, but that was it. And as for the characters were very mediocre. They were so-so. The biggest issue with Do It Night Abyss's characters, right, is Rebecca? The biggest issue with Do It Night Abyss's characters is that the splash art, the gacha splash art for them, was not representative of the character at all. I would love if this image would actually fucking load. Can I get like a zoom in on this? So this is what Rebecca looks like. It's like this is a pale jellyfish character. Like this looks pretty solid, you know, like blue lipstick and all. But then you like see like her actual model in game, and it's like, what the fuck am I looking at? This looks nothing like her at all. This looks so bad. And like that's the case with every character. Just like, if characters are the driving force for like anime games, why would I want a character that looks nothing like the appeal of it? I think Burnica is also a good example of this. Like, Burnica looks badass. I think Burnica is like, that's a terrible image. Can I get like a zoom in on this? Okay, Burnica, one of the most badass looking like characters that I've seen in Do It Night Abyss. And I actually, with like the pale skin and like the red eyes and like the horns, but then you see her model in game, and this shit just looks silly. Like, what the fuck? What happened? This looks bad. Is this beta? Is this full release? This just doesn't look good at all. It's just not good. I was so disappointed. I'd say the only character at launch that looked close to like accurate with like her art was Psyche. I happen to like Psyche. And then they killed Psyche in like the first act. So it's like, oh, okay, all right. My emotional attachment to the one character I liked is just out the window. Hold on. I need to pull this up. I need to make sure like I'm actually accurate with this claim. That site. Nope. Not Google Lens. Image. It's still very flat, but like at least like you can make an argument that Psyche's design didn't have a lot going for it to begin with, so like there's a suspension of disbelief. Bro, her face looks so dead. Like this face looks like it's so full of life, and she's just so dead over here. What the fuck's wrong with her eyes? Okay, you know, actually Psyche might not be a good example either. Okay, yes, Psyche's definitely not a good. Psyche was not a good example. She did appear in a 1.1 side quest. Why would she appear in a side quest? What? Whatever. It doesn't matter. What is the what's the newest character that came out into a Night Abyss? 1.3. Like there's this very nice looking, yeah, this character. If Do It at Night Abyss wasn't like in a really, really bad state, you mean thank you. If Do It at Night Abyss wasn't in a bad state, I would act. That's not the girl. This is a dude. So you thank you. Do you? What? They don't have anything out for her yet? That image is way too small. Like, this character looks great. This character looks amazing. I would have absolutely came back to get this character. And you know what else they did? They also made Camilla playable. They redid her model and made her playable as well. And this is a character I actually really liked when the game first came out. Granted, like, this model is not representative of, like, the playable one. This character's not even out yet. Like, I would have absolutely have come back and got Camilla and got Tsuyu. But, I mean, like, I don't want to do that because the game looks incredibly unstable and I don't want to be, like, anywhere near it. So, no thank you. I will not be touching this game. And if this game dies, unfortunate. 1.3 looks like a good update, but people with money are not going to risk their data. I'm just not even going to, like, risk anything at all, like, installing it. At all. What's the Do It Night Abyss Reddit say? Like, the Do It Night Reddit Abyss is just, like, just not in a good state right now. Yeah, like, dude, this is not a healthy state for, like, a subreddit. Like, I think the Payday subreddit looks healthier than this. Like, I'm seeing, like, not very much, like, engagement on, like, any of these posts. Like, it looks bad. Like, let's look at Endfield for a second, because everyone wants to talk about how bad Endfield is right now. It's like, this is a much healthier, like, social media engagement. Granted, there's a few, like, smaller ones right now because there's like we're like in a downtime because 1.1 is a filler patch, but I'd say like the engage. Hold on, let's be fair. Let's go by sort by week for both of them and just kind of see what we get. Top of the week. Okay, so we've got like the highest right here is like 394 with 68 comments compared to here, which is, you know, so okay. Oh yeah, wait, the top one isn't even like fan art or anything. It's just like having a conversation about the hack thing in like the live stream. Art's the next one right here, and I want to say this is not some good. If the fan art's not good, then maybe there's not a lot of people playing the game. If the fan art is good, that's probably a good sign that there's a number of people playing the game. Hold on. Where's my main? Where does my main game sit in this? Hold on. As a Stellosora enjoyer, where does Stellosora stand? Even Stellosaurus healthier than this game. Like, holy shit, dude. Yo. Feel good for once as a Stellosora player. Don't trust Reddit 100% AstroTurfed? Well, Fates, where would you want me to go? What social media would you want me to look at? Because is Reddit astroturfed? Probably, but where would you want me to look? I'm open to suggestions if you want to like tell me where to look. The DNA subreddit 100% is being astroturfed. Okay, Fates, do you think the astroturfing is deserved though? That's a question I want to ask. That's what I want to ask. Do you think this astroturfing is deserved? No, you don't think it's deserved. Do you think any kind of astroturfing is deserved on a subreddit? Any subreddit? No matter how controversial it is? No? Okay. Okay. By the way, if there is someone I feel really bad for right now, it's got to be this guy. It's got to be this guy who literally named his channel Do It Night Amazing. This guy really put himself in a bad situation. I barely know anything about Do It Night Amazing, but I've watched at least 3 videos, and he must not be in a good spot. What is what? Okay, what did he start his? Okay, wait, why did he change his channel identity from? Honestly, some pretty decent, like, Genshin content, at least in terms of, like, I'd say, like, his Genshin content viewership looks pretty decent, and they just flipped the script to Do a Night Abyss? Why I'm quitting Genshin, he quit Genshin Impact to play Do a Night Abyss. Ooh. Ooh. That was a gamble. That was a gamble. It didn't pay off. Oof. Oof. Oh, no, 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 no. I feel sorry for this man. It's rough out here, buddy. It's rough out here. Why am I not trying to laugh? I'm not trying to laugh. I'm actually in like shock. I'm actually like in shock and like, you know, concern of like what Mr. Do It Night like the position Do It Night Amazing is like put himself in here. I'm not trying to be rude, but I am trying to point out like this is very unfortunate. This is very, very unfortunate, you know? If it comes off as me like mocking him, well, okay, I'm sorry. I will move on. I will move on from this. If you think I'm being offensive, I will just move on. Right? Okay. Even anything. There's nothing else for me to do, right? Like I already did the tower defense. Like I don't really feel like being a FedEx person right now. Did I got everything right? Yeah, I got everything. Okay. Do you read your 2 previous messages? Yeah, sure. One moment. Can you read my 2 previous messages? Big oof. Can you read my posts real quick? Okay. Scroll back up. The idea of a gacha game without the gacha never seemed interesting to me. It was only appealing to many people who are tired of losing the 50-50. Reminder that Psyche has less fan art. Okay, this is... Okay. So, okay, let's focus on this one for a second. So, it was only appealing to many people who are tired of losing 50-50s. So, I genuinely think the idea of, like, the 50-50 fatigue... So the 50-50 fatigue is both real, but it also doesn't matter. What actually matters... Nice, good to hear that, Supa. So what actually matters is not the 50-50 per se. What matters is, all right, new patch. Do I get a character? Yes or no? And the thing is that when people lose the 50-50, it creates that idea that they did not get a character that patch, because a lot of them do choose not absolutely do not get a character that patch. But consider for a moment a game that doesn't have a 50-50, you just pull and you get a guarantee. Well, then they're going to obviously readjust the currency costs so that you're in a situation where if you don't have enough to like guarantee like at a hard pity, then you won't get the character anyway. Then the conversation gets like changed a bit based on like a pull economy from patch per patch, yada yada yada. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that yes, the 50-50 matters, but it matters in the sense that all they care about is if they actually get a character. They don't care how they get a character, just whether or not they actually get the character or not. That's all that matters. And the 50-50 creates this idea in people's head that they were robbed of getting a character because of the 50-50 loss. When it's entirely possible, depending on like another gacha you play that that doesn't have a 50-50 system at all, that you could also just not get the character because they didn't give you enough pulls in one patch and you didn't like skip enough banners. I think it's more like people have nothing to do when they don't get a character. You either do a minigame you probably don't care about, or do the same endgame fight you already did with 300% HP increase. Well, yeah, characters in this game are what makes the games interesting, because it gives you new and exciting ways to play the game. So right now, okay, there's the music. So I have absolutely zero intention of. I'm just gonna like go somewhere else because obviously like the music doesn't want. We're going to go back to like Valley 4 because I think the Valley 4 themes, especially in like one of the like sub ASs. So, for example, I'm someone right now, I have no intention of pulling for any other character in Arknights Endfield. I'm going to amass a lot of currency for somebody else coming down the line, and it's probably not going to be any of the characters that they've already shown off in Wuling. Not the Bird Girl, not Celery Pants, Leek Pants, and not like the other two. So I'm going to be hoarding currency for a little while, and I effectively have nobody new to look forward to. So all I can do is I can build up and min-max the characters I have right now and just use them in perpetuity until somebody comes out that I actually want to use. This limits my team options. This limits my means of like countering certain like mechanics depending on what comes out for Umbral Monument, and so on and so forth. So can I hold out long enough in this game that I've chose not to pull for new characters on and not get tired of using the same characters over and over? And that's where the true test comes in. And I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But for a lot of people, pull either because they like the character or because they like the playstyle, or it's for meta. But even if you're pulling specifically just because you like the appearance of the character or the personality of the character, you're still pulling a new character that you can play around with at the end of the day. So you're getting that effect of a new playstyle, whether or not that was your intention going in. This is something that my brother had an issue with Girls Frontline 2 when Girls Frontline 2 first came out, is that there were a bunch of characters in the CN version of Girls Frontline 2 that he was waiting patiently for and was getting very frustrated. And like it was so incredibly common for when I was having conversations about Girls Frontline 2 with my brother that he would just complain that the game needs to fast track and catch up to CN as quickly as possible. Not necessarily because he wanted the fast track per se to the CN version, but just because he wanted more banners to come out faster so he could actually get the characters he wanted. Because I'm sure, because up until that point, like he played like in the first like 5 or 6 months of the game, he literally was just hoarding currency and he was barely pulling anybody, and his teams were suffering because of it, because he just lacked so many options. He had to like muck around with like characters that he like never touches ever again. Skipping Feng Yi, you must have fell for the Qingbo Stockade propaganda. I just don't care about Feng Yi. I don't care. I don't really care about like Chinese characters, especially when Feng Yi like leans on the more traditional side of like Chinese characters in terms of like design. I realize like Endfield itself like has like some pretty exotic designs, but an exotic Chinese design is still a Chinese design. Like I'm not feeling anything. Like I've seen plenty of like dragon-like characters or like well-dressed like Chinese woman characters. I want to see a character in the art style of Arknights that isn't Chinese, okay? I've had my fill of Chinese aesthetic characters with multiple gacha games at this point, and there will be plenty more that will try to shove Chinese aesthetic characters in my face. I'm good. I don't want to see that. Whatever little nuances you have to throw at me, I'm just not interested in. Can we please get to like the more unique stuff that better fits within your fantasy world that isn't like so Chinese coded? When can we get a medieval knight with a greatsword? Have to wait and see. Want to see more Arabian? Arabian? I don't. Do we have an example of like an Arabian like cultural aesthetic? You caught me at a very Chinese moment in my life. That's a very weird thing to say, Zede. I'm not sure how to deconstruct that comment. Arclight is the closest. I'm going to be honest. I actually like Arklight's design, but a big reason why Arklight is not my favorite character is I'm not a fan of like the ashy grayish brown color scheme that a lot of like dark skinned characters get stuck with in like these gacha games. Like, let me look at Genshin. So, if Arklight's skin tone was like either darker and brownish or was like closer to Candace, I would absolutely like enjoy playing her. But like this like skin tone looks so weird, especially like in certain lighting, in like certain like areas of in-game lighting area. Like sometimes you don't even like see any brown and it just looks gray. It just looks gray. Where is she? Where's Arklight? There. In some areas, it just seems like the what little like pigment of brown you can see just even gets like less than that. I got. Like, hold on. Let me get to like some light. This doesn't really look like. This hardly looks brown to me. It looks almost like a sickly brown, if I'm being entirely honest. Like I'm seeing like tints of green in here for some reason. Ever thought about trying the original Arknights? No. If she had chocolate skin, it would be better. No, if she had chocolate skin, she would probably be one of my favorite characters. But it's like it's this flushed brown. It feels like someone literally sucked the soul out of her. Like almost like she's kind of undead. Just rocking that zombie dead skin. Yeah, that's literally how I feel. It literally looks like flushed of like any life. Suck the soul out of her? Yeah, bro. But Candace is definitely one of my favorite Genshin characters. It's just a shame that like in terms of like actual role, Candace is not good. But I am very weak. I have a very soft spot for Egyptian aesthetics and heterochromia in this combination. I really think like the color palette for Candace is amazing, and I'm just really ashamed she's a 4-star, and she's a pretty bad one too at that too. This is the Chinese region, though. Arklight's not Chinese. Arklight was a launch day character. She's not associated with the Chinese region. Also, hold on a second. No. I refuse. I actually refuse. Because you've got Xion, too. Like, Xion's got a pretty decent tan. Xion looks pretty decent as well. And she was a Chinese character. What's up? Xion looks great. What did you say? Thorns? Oh yeah, that's definitely dark skins. Looks pretty good. This one's also good. Don't know how I feel about the the weird fluff on the ears. Also, I wish the hair was longer. I wish the hair was longer. Pepe? Is that actually their name? Pepe? This skin tone's actually on the lighter side. This is definitely on the lighter side of skin tone. Arnelli. Wow, she pretty hot. She pretty. Oh shit, she pretty bad. So wait, what were we talking about before? Arklight? Ah, whatever. Probably doesn't matter now. You guys think they'll actually like come out with 5-star characters, or are they just gonna stick to 6 stars? Content drought? Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm sitting here yapping about characters. This is literally the second time in the stream we just started pulling up a bunch of OG Arknights characters. Left off at being seeing Chinese coded characters. Oh yeah, right. Stop it. The sooner they finish up Wuling, the better. But I don't know about you guys, but it feels like Endfield in particular, the patches feel like they just go on for way too long, which is weird. It's weird of me to say because Endfield banners are like 17 days. It's like 17 days. It is 7. Holy shit! Say something already, you fucking idiot. 17 days per banner instead of 21. There we go. Holy buddy. Who else do we, Oh, Yvonne. Probably Yvonne, yeah. I know we're in version 1.1 right now, but the fact that we're already running into like lack of event issues to the point where one of the events was literally just cook food, I don't think that's a good sign. So I hope in version 1.2 they get like there's a lot more events that happen to keep things interesting and entertaining. Because I do think 1.1 greatly suffers because of the lack of event content. I know like I'm not even in the second half of like 1.1 just yet, but I genuinely believe we needed at least like one more really good event. Like, the biggest issue The biggest issue about filler patches in gacha games is when the filler patch it feels so bad or feels so pointless that it makes the players feel like that the developers are just stalling for time until like a big update can come out. And that's just kind of what happens with filler patches, but I think you can control that to a degree based on the quality of like the quote unquote filler content. I realize that might be an oxymoron to say like like filler and quality in like the same sentence, but I generally think you can have some pretty fun filler patches. I think the would we call the Huo patch in Honkai Star Rail where you were with the ghost hunting squad? Would we call that a filler patch? Because it didn't really advance the main story at all. Because I feel like that was one of the best patches that Honkai Star Rail had as like a filler patch. It was like 1.5? 1.5, yeah. This was a really good patch. And this was a filler patch. This was probably like one of Honkai Star Rail's best patches. And it was a filler patch. You had like the ghost hunting, the story of the ghost hunting squads, and you even had like the story with Argenti. Like holy shit, Argenti was pretty fun. The Pokemon patch too. Oh yeah, the Pokemon patch. This one was pretty good too. This one was pretty good too. Like we had some pretty banger patches for like version 1 Honkai Star Rail. We had some pretty banger filler patches. This one was kind of lame. This one was good. I wasn't playing the game version 1 during 1.1. I can't speak on 1.1. I was literally not playing during 6. This was good. This was good. And then we went straight to like version 2. This was main story. This was main story. This was filler. This was pretty bad, if I'm being honest. This was a pretty garbage filler patch. This was pretty good. I don't know how y'all feel about 2.4 and 2.5. I liked 2.4. I liked the Lufao story arc with like with Hule. I liked 2.4 and 2.5. The event with Luca in 2.5 though, absolute trash. Absolute trash of event content with Luca. Hated that shit. Awful. Don't do it again. Bad. But like the main story and like the stuff with the stuff with March 7th, the March 7th event, really good. Really good. Like that. HSR 1.0 to 2.6 was 10 out of 10. It had its moments. So okay, so hold on. What was 2.7? Is 2.7 what I think it is? Okay, no, it was this. Okay, never mind. Okay. No, it was this. It was this shit right here. Wait, no. I thought 2.8 was the monkeys. Wait, where the fuck was the monkey Where's the monkey patch? Is this one? Yeah, this dog shit. Absolute fucking dog piss. No. Eeg. You need to change it and say HSR 1.0 to 2.5 is good. 2.6, the worst patch I have ever had the displeasure of ever playing in one of these fucking games. Like, holy shit. This was such a terrible idea. .7 was trash. 2.7, I'll give 2.7. Yeah, 2.7 wasn't all that great either. But like, 2.7 was not all that great. But like 2.6 was so bad. It was so bad. Whatever patch Akron came out was the last good patch. Oh wait, are you changing your mind? You're going from 1.0 to so that'd be 2.1 though, yeah? That'd be 2.1. So what you mean to say is like 1.0 to 2.1. I get the idea behind the monkey one, but took too long? Right. I have like the only time like I actually did like an in-depth like review of like a patch or like a story content was actually like 2.6. Down here, it was my 11th ever video where I basically said that the version 2.6 story was the worst story ever. Worst story ever. Absolutely. DM'd you something funny? Okay, I probably have to check. All right, I don't know who this is. But we're gonna read it. I highly disagree. This supposed end. Oh, this is probably Eeg talking about like the end game for Endfield. So, all right. So the context is this is probably somebody disagreeing about Eeg thinking this is the best Endfield end. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, no, it says Umbral Monument. Okay. I highly disagree. This supposed endgame does not feel like a proper fight. There is no conversation between the player and the. Why does this matter? Why does this fucking matter? Are you stupid? Are you stupid? Name one endgame. Wait. Hold on. Okay, wait. Okay. I'm gonna read this in full because I feel like this guy's going with like some weird analogy. It feels like this guy's going for some weird analogy, so I'm going to read it in full to understand what he's going for. There is no conversation between the player and the enemy here. You can wander around, tell the boss that you're going to buy milk at the store, come back, and the boss keep doing the same thing, regardless if you interact with it or not. Okay, so when he says conversation, he doesn't mean like narrative, like dialogue with the boss. He means like there's no... He's just using this as a synonym for interaction. Conversation here, just swap it for interaction. I don't know why he leads with this. This seems confusing. This is not something that in the best endgame of gacha games should happen, but maybe it's okay for a fight with glorified mob on a random encounter. Even the design of the enemy is a recycle of an asset. Sorry, but no, Umbral Monument is just meant... What is that? What do you mean recycle? It's a mob. It's literally just a mob. It's just a mob that they've adjusted the stats to. They've adjusted the stats and mechanics to. Hold on. Where's it? Can I find this one? Where is he? Where is he? Where is he on the map? I think he's down here. No, he's around here somewhere. Let's go over there for a second. After Acheron release, it feels like they can't really make side events. It's just a minigame with a silly story. They never tried to do a Huoho event again. That is unfortunate to hear. I have not played Honkai Star Rail since version 3. The version 2.6 story with like Rappa and the monkey shit, it shook me to my core so badly that I was actually dreading to even touch version 3. I pulled the Herda, I pulled her light cone, and then I just didn't bother, and I just slowly, within a week, just dropped the game and just never looked back. Which I'm glad I did because I heard a lot of people talk about how bad the version 3.0 and the version 3.1 story is. I've also heard, though, that in version 3, like I think it was like 3.2 or 3.3, it actually gets a lot better, and Amphorius is worth the experience. But I'm not going to sit through like 10 plus hours of like bad story to get to it. And I don't want to skip it because because ideally I'd want the story to be good so I don't have to skip it in the first place. Alright, are you going to like do an enraged red state? Is there a red version of this guy somewhere on the map? Does this guy not have the enrage mechanic? I don't think this guy has the enrage mechanic. Okay, yeah, I don't think this guy has the enrage mechanic. He's just gonna die. Okay, hold on. Let's go back to the comments. So, it's a glorified mob on a random encounter. Even the design of the enemy is a recycle of an asset. Well, so I'm going to admit to an extent. To an extent, with that statement, he's not necessarily wrong, because every mob. Oh no, wait, no, there is a red one here. Where's the red one? Oh, it's in the stockade. It's in the alluvium. Okay, where's the alluvium? Where's the alluvium? Hold on. Where's the energy alluvium? Down there. Okay. That mechanic is only for Umbral? Okay, well then never mind. I'm not gonna fight him then. I'm not gonna bother. But yeah, that's the whole point. Like, that's the whole point though, is that you take mobs or a set of mobs that exist in the game and you adjust them accordingly to make them feel fresh or to put a spin on it for endgame content. Literally, that is the entire basis for like for the boss endgame mode in Honkai Star Rail. The name of the Honkai Star Rail endgame. What's the name of the apocalyptic? That is literally apocalyptic shadow. Is you take an existing boss in the game, or elite mob, and you adjust them in a way so that there's a degree of difference in their mechanics, so that tackling them feels different than what is normally happens. For better or for worse, of course. Better yet, hold on. Is this like actually like in your video?
I'm going to be completely honest, guys. I think this new addition to Umbral Monument is probably the best endgame that I have played in gacha in recent history.
You sound nothing like Dijin King, by the way.
Nothing else really comes close to it. With this new edition of Umbral Monument that we got in Endfield 1.1, we had gotten Sea of Loathing, Melting Point of Flesh, and Howling Flame. Now, they're all good. None of them are bad, but one of them is clearly better than the other. And that is Howling Flame. That fight with that big ass dude is so much fun. There is a bit of strategy involved. You can actually just trivialize the entire thing by using Snowshine. And Snowshine is a character every single person that has played this game so far should have. I don't know when the cutoff date is for getting Snowshine because she was a pre-registration reward. But
I'm pretty sure she's permanent. Like, anyone can get them at any time. That's usually the case with like any of like these very defensive characters.
Even if you pull on the banners, you should be getting Snowshine, and she just makes that entire fight super easy. Because when he goes to jump, you can just parry. When he does really almost any attack that you need to cancel out his combustibility, you can just use Snowshine to stop him doing that and do a hardcore parry. Now, when I used Snowshine for the first time, I was using her at level 60 with a level 1 weapon because I did not realize I had taken off her 5-star weapon and put it on Ember. And when I did that, when I did the first try for a Howling Flame, I did fail it because I ran out of time. Because my only DPS is Leviathan or Surtur Lava Cakes. And I ran out of time because I simply wasn't dealing enough damage. Now that really wasn't
Are you hoarding for Rossi? Or are you hoarding for somebody else?
due to me sucking or something, or like me dying, but I just was using a severely underleveled team because I have a bad habit with this game of not leveling characters. Like, I have like 4 or 5 characters at level 80 with level 80 weapons and almost no skills. It was pretty dumb.
4 or 5 with level 80 weapons and stuff? Wait. You buy Battle Pass? I buy Battle Pass. Okay, I gotta make that clear right now. I buy Battle Pass. So my resources are gonna be looking a lot different than anybody else's, but I've bought both Battle Passes from version 1 and version 1.1. So this is my spread of characters. I've got 80 level and then like 80 weapon. You did for 1.0? Okay. Well, I guess that's where the I only play the game every 3 days kicks in.
For me to go into that the first time, but immediately after that, I leveled up to 80 with a level 80 weapon, did the skills of her combo ability and her skill, and cleared it with no problem. Like, Howling Flame, you got to experience it for yourself. It's so unbelievably good. Now, I know this technically isn't an endgame, but considering this is max level content, level 90, with modifiers that make it harder, I am going to consider Umbral Monument a proper endgame for this game. And it seems like they're going to be adding new stages every patch. I hope they are because it's so unbelievably good. Now, there
Wait, so if you levitate your only DPS, then then whose account is this?
may be some of you that have the idea in your head because you have been abused and used by other gacha games with really bad endgame modes. That, oh, this endgame mode is bad because it's not a DPS check and current banner character check. Because there are a lot of you that think like that. I've seen it everywhere. And I think, oh, because it's a 10-minute timer and it doesn't require you to beat it in 3 minutes and 5 seconds, that it actually sucks and it's a waste of time. But in reality, these type of endgame modes that don't limit you on the time, they give you a generous 10-minute timer. And the only way to fail that 10-minute timer is to be using a severely underleveled team that's not even capable of dealing damage. Like I did, with Snowshine being level 60 with no upgrades in her skills and a level 1 weapon. That's how you fail. But this type of endgame where it's an actual skill check and mechanic check to see if, oh hey, if you read the mechanics on the thing, for example, Hallowing Flame Agony, mechanics. Enemies regularly enter in rage state that constantly applies heat infliction on themselves, granting attack bonus and damage reduction buffs based on the number of heat infliction stacks. During enrage, operators cannot regenerate SP naturally. Tactics and consumables cannot be used. Enemies have the same resistance against every element.
I couldn't help but notice also, but when he gets like 4 stacks of enrage, he will almost always do like his big AoE with combustion. I don't know if he'll do it outside of like having 4 enrage stacks, but that's how it felt.
See, that makes it actually a proper skill check to see, oh hey, can you actually beat this with the teams that you've got? Now, you're not required to pull on certain characters to actually beat it. Now, I will say this. If you do pull on certain characters, it will make it overall easier, but you can still use your basic team, like a physical team, like Edmund, Chen, Pog, Ember, Snowshine, and just combine all of them. You can just swap whoever you want because that's 5 people, but you know, you get the point. Anyways, you can use that team and actually beat it if you have the proper skill to do it. That's what makes this one so much better than other endgame modes, is the fact that it's not a DPS check and a time check. It's a, hey, do you have the skill and mechanic knowledge to understand the mechanics to actually fucking do it? It reminds me of how trial fights in Final Fantasy XIV goes for Salvage and Extremes. It's like, okay, you fought this boss before on the normal version, level 60 or just a regular trial version. Now, can you go into this next version of it and understand the mechanics that we add on to it and actually complete it with your own skills? And I'm sorry, that's just amazing. And when you fight it for yourself in the Hallowing Flame, it's so unbelievably fun. Like, he does jump around a lot, and I will admit, the camera angles in every gacha game, they always suck unless it's a turn-based where it's a fixed camera. Because when he jumps up, sometimes you can lose him, but it is what it is. I've accepted a long time ago that camera angles in gacha games are always going to be bad because they're always built for mobile first, which is unfortunate. But anyways, yeah, none of these stages are bad. Melting Point of Flesh is another fun one where you have to fight 2 of the guys with flamethrowers and Originium slugs that will explode when they get too close to you.
I disagree about this one. Just them sitting in each other's flamethrowers is obnoxious as hell.
And leave fire on the ground where you can't stand in it. Now, the best way to do it is just walk circles around them until they're done firing it, then attack.
Yes, you see, the problem there is that you can get in an unfortunate position where one has their flamethrower active, and then you go in and, oh, the other one's got their flamethrower active now, so I guess you gotta wait again.
And freeze them with the freeze team. That's really like how you cheese it. You don't have to use a freeze team, but that's just how you cheese the stage. And in the Melting Point of Flesh Agony, enemies are stronger and have an additional enemies will appear, which is the slugs. Exploding Originium slugs spawn.
You didn't use the different image on this one. It's the same image. You're still on Howling Flame.
Periodically, those ones, they leave fire on the ground. Operators cannot perfect dodge. Now, you can still dodge out of the way, but you cannot do the perfect dodge, the regen.
That is unfortunate, Egg.
And a bunch of stamina and some skill points. You can't do that. Tacticals and consumables obviously can't be used. Enemies have the same resistance against every element. And this stage ain't bad either. Now, I struggled a little bit because I was a little too unga bunga on that stage. I will be completely honest. I was way too unga bunga with that stage. And, well, I slowed down. I actually thought about what I was supposed to be doing. And I completed it with relative ease. Once I just slowed down and just like, okay, maybe I cannot rush this and kill them in 10 seconds, in a minute. Like, and then, yeah, it became super easy. And Sea of Loathing, I would say, would sit at the bottom of this. It's like, it's still fun and it's not bad, but it's not as good as Howling Flame or Melting Point of Flesh. Now, you might have your own different opinions, but Melting Point of Flesh is better than Sea of Loathing, and Howling Flame is the best out of the three. The Sea of Loathing, like I said, is not bad at all. Now, for this one, they add a mechanic to where the train enemies, whatever you want to call them, they will tether one or two of your teammates to a chain, and you have to run around the arena and break those chains. Otherwise, they get one shot. And I actually think that's a unique mechanic, I won't lie. I would kind of like to see that in future, like, story mode bosses. Like, we got the Zerorite orbs with the Tangtang's brothers boss fight, but I want to see way more mechanics like this where
If they hate this game mode, I feel like many people will complain if they added an integrated strategies mode. Isn't it, so if I vaguely recall, based on the the video on Kukikaze that talked about Endfield, isn't integrated strategies where like you have different modifiers that you can select and you just have to set a certain number of them to get the reward, to get your the reward you're looking for? Something similar to like Girls Frontline 2's endgame mode options. Just select a certain amount of modifiers, then get your rewards. And then if you want to select more, that's contingency contract? Okay, well then I don't know what integrated strategies is.
oh,
But, oh, it's a roguelite? Not another one. I can't do it, guys. I can't do another roguelite. They're all the same. They are all the same.
yeah, you have to break the chains, otherwise they're gonna
It's the best one? That's what everybody says about their favorite roguelite, though. Fuck.
severely damage your teammates or kill your teammates. Stuff like that is what makes boss fights actually engaging and entertaining to do. Because let me just take another. Sorry, I'm always gonna, like, when I try to pull out an example, I'm always gonna be comparing it to other games
How to tell Arya's never played IS before? That's what they also say.
with boss fights, like Final Fantasy 14. And I'm just a massive Final Fantasy 14 nerd, so that I'm always gonna be like pulling examples from that. Like, think about the Emmett Selk boss fight in Shadowbringers. There is a mechanic in the later about when he's about at 30% of the health of the boss fight, to where he chains everybody, and you have to do a quick time event to break the chains. And if one person does not do it, everybody fails. And well, if two of your teammates get chained in this and they die, guess what? You gotta reset most likely. Now, I know it's not quite the same thing because it's a quick time event, but you still have to run around. You still have to go press a button to break it, otherwise everybody fails. It's somewhat of a decent example. If you had better, oh well, not that big of an issue. It's just an example. But these are
Look, in my opinion, like whatever new game mode comes out for Endfield, it's gonna get hated on regardless, because people just don't have decided they don't like the combat system of Endfield. So it doesn't matter how many bells and whistles you put on it, the people who don't like it aren't gonna change their mind.
just so much fun to do. This is the best iteration so far that we have gotten for Umbral Monument. Now, I did like the previous one. It was decent. The Searing Scars. I'm not Searing Scars, sorry. The Inorganic Construct. It was decent. I didn't like Rampaging Shields. I thought that one was just awful. With just constantly charging enemies. I just thought it was not the greatest, but then again,
They could just not play the game then? They already aren't playing the game. They're just complaining about it online.
No Shine teases the entire thing just by blocking them. It's just, there's always going to be a character, and so far it's been either a limited standard character
I'll say the lepers? Yeah. Yeah.
or a 5-star character that just cheeses something. It just completely cheeses it. But I hope you guys get to experience this endgame mode for Enfield in your own time. Don't take my word as the truth. I want you to experience it for yourself, and then I want to hear your opinion in the comments below, because I seriously think this is the best endgame mode that we have gotten in gacha in recent history. I mean, I would say integrated strategies is better, but like that's for OG Arknights. It's not really similar, and it's, you know, whatever. I love integrated strategies anyways. It's my favorite game mode in OG Arknights. But anyways, let me know what you thought in the comments below. Let me know if you agree with me. Subscribe, like the video, and all that glorious stuff if you made it this far.
Did anyone comment to the funny guys video comment? Oh, nope, nobody. All right. To who calls them squatters? Yeah, I just watched that video. I just watched that video. How is that video doing, by the way? Because I put out a very similar video. Like a day or two ago. Okay, yeah. So it's definitely slowed down or two. Yeah, mine's slowed down as well. This one got a bit of traction when the reveal for Billy came out. So thank God I got this video out literally 24 hours before like before the reveal happened, and this would have not done as well. So that's good to see. I'm curious. What does anyone actually say anything about the curious? Does anyone actually have anything to say about like the content, or am I a bit too late to it? I might be late to it. I want to send this video to Boru server. You're actually into Boru server? Which one, the Tuhu video or like Eag's video? DM'd your teams? Okay. What do we have? So Eag, I'm going to assume Eag, you have a better understanding of where teams need to be slotted in, because if people don't know how combo skills work, is that based on where like the teams are slotted in, that's where the priority the combo skill priority will kick in. I take it you have a better understanding of that than I do. No Sig? No Sig for either? Shit. Got Sig right there. Oh, your DPS Pog? Oh, okay. Bro is poor. You haven't seen that Billy vid? Yeah. Poor unfortunate soul. They should cut down the grind needed to upgrade 4 stars by like 50%. It does feel sort of bad for them to do a specific challenge. I find it so weird that it seems like Genshin and Star it seems like newer gachas aren't really doing that, where like lower rarity characters are being cheaper to build. I don't know why they're not doing that. It's like they'll do that for like the weapons, but it's like the characters themselves are not cheaper. You 500k character credits right now. That is hardly enough to 90 a character and a weapon. It is expensive in this game. Is there no reset button? 0 upvotes. Just press P. I love it when somebody downvotes a comment when it's just like sincere gratitude for like assistance. Like, oh, thank you. Downvote. They're called like earring scars. Nothing. I guess I'll work on Snowshine next. Like, I need to like get an electric team going, but honestly, I might just 86 that and go with Snowshine, which fine by me because I actually don't mind Snowshine's design. I'm not a fan of like the polar bear. I don't like how the polar bear tail clips with her shorts, but whatever, it is what it is. I'd say overall this design's pretty solid. Also, I'm not really a fan of, like the polar bear feet. I can make a suspension of disbelief that those aren't her actual. It's such an insane minority that even if Hypergraph cared for global, I didn't think they'd pay attention to them. Oh yeah. As a Zenless Zone Zero player, I definitely hope that one particular subreddit does not actually get like the attention that they think they deserve. Let's just put it that way. It's not the mains subreddit, but I'm sure if you're in that space, you know what I'm talking about. What Reddit? So there's so the Ultra Goon that you had to block? No. The main ZZZ subreddit should get all the attention? Yeah. So there are Zenless Zone Zero has like a very weird subreddit situation, and I made a video about this a little while ago, but Zenless Zone Zero has two subreddits. It has the official subreddit with about 229k and 11k, so 229k users. Then you've got the unofficial subreddit that I believe is bigger. Yeah, 293k. So the problem with like subreddits for like Hoyoverse games in particular, or I guess you could maybe extend this to Wuthering Waves, is the toxic positivity creates situations where people can't have genuine discussions about things that need to be changed with the game. People can't have like genuine discussions about like issues that they might have with the game because they'll get like pushed out because people disagree with them or they don't see it as a problem. The Zenless Zone Zero subreddits, both the official and unofficial, and by the way, this is something that happens in all the other subreddits as well, but it's very concentrated in the ZZZ subreddits. Because ZZZ is a game that's people care about the gooning more so than anything else, like on social media. Most of the time, genuine conversation just doesn't happen as often in the ZZZ subreddits more so than the other ones. So it's not toxic positivity that kicks these people out. It's just the fact that people don't want to like come to these Reddits for discussions. They just want to come for the fan art. So this resulted in the creation of another subreddit called Zenless Zone Zero Discussion with 121k users. The problem with Zenless Zone Zero Discussion is that it is the complete other end of the spectrum, where a majority of the time it is just nothing but people complaining or lamenting about something in ZZZ, and that's about it. Like, this is a complaint. Oh, what do you know? This is a complaint. This is actually potentially a discussion. This is a request. Okay, admittedly, it varies. It varies depending on like what time and what period of like a patch you're looking at the ZZZ subreddit. But usually, it's quite common to see complaints in here. Just like get top of the posts. Go by month. Sure, not sure that now is like a good representation of it. Here's a situation on W engines. This guy's worried about Billy. Check that, but Yeah, now is not unfortunately right now at this very moment the ZCC discussion subreddit is not so incredibly complaint laden right now, so this is like a bad time for me to like demonstrate it, but I hope y'all can like see the potential for like how a subreddit that is a group of people literally where they can't like criticize the game or create their own little safe space where they can just complain as much as they want about the game potentially. Anyways, it is getting incredibly late for me. I'm actually cutting into my sleep schedule right now, so I'll need to be cutting things off right now, so I can start to wind down and then head to bed. So I hope y'all had a good evening. I certainly enjoyed this nice little casual stream. Next time I do a live stream, probably gonna actually like get to work on doing the Zenless Zone Zero 2.7 story, and probably get actually get the end game content caught up to date. And I would really love to do the battle tower now that the battle tower's reset. I want to try out the new battle tower and like the enemies in there. So looking forward to that. Gonna happen another day. But for now, this is Edu. I hope you all have a nice evening.